Are y'all ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. I just want to welcome everybody back. Episode 5 of the Pick and Roll podcast.
Man, number 5. Huh?
We got your boy Chris. Yeah, man, we trying to do something over here. We trying to be consistent, you know. Got my man Super Dave here. Super Dave, how you feeling?
Really good, man. Really good.
And we got a special guest we've been inviting on the podcast for people that have been listening. We got B Mac here, man.
Hey, man. Appreciate y'all.
Tell him your sports resume.
Short, man. It's real short.
No, what you're doing now? We don't want to hear about the past.
What I'm doing right now, I'm a head coach at Olympus Prep.
Olympus Prep. All right, explain Olympus Prep for us, because I want people to hear your credentials when you start talking about sports. I want them to validate what you've been saying.
Well, Olympus Prep Academy.
Yeah, there you go.
We good?
Yeah.
Right. Olympus Prep Academy. It's about 4 years old.
Okay.
I've been there the last 2 years, coaching black team.
All right.
So we got 3. Usually we have about 3 prep teams and 1 high school team, and an 8th grade team. The 8th grade team just won a championship for their division. High school team won their chip. Grade team is ranked 6th in the nation after the season was over.
Okay.
Red squad and black, we both made it to the championship rounds in our conferences. So this year was an all around good year, man.
So they're 6th in the nation. So Olympus Prep is part of a much larger network of prep schools.
Yes.
And they get ranked with everybody else around the country.
Yeah, they played IMG, I want to say 2 weekends ago.
IMG Academy?
IMG
Oh,
Academy.
word. Yeah, I'm
They
familiar with
played
that.
it was in South Carolina. I can't remember the name of the championship tournament, but they were
Was it like Peach Jam or something like that?
something like that. But they were Olympus was selected to go down there out of all of the prep schools that's playing. So it was some like Mount Zion was down there.
Okay.
We beat them twice or 3 times this year. So we beat them again in the tournament, and that gave us the 6th rank.
There you go, man. Coach in Olympus Prep, man, black team. Follow him on Instagram. You know what I mean? Tell him your Instagram, man, so people can check up on these kids, man.
Hey, man, Coach_Mac23 on Instagram.
There you go. Well, welcome to the podcast. This is where I'm Shaq and he's Kobe.
So what that make me?
Derek Fisher.
Hell no.
You're Teron Lou.
Hell no.
You're going to get your ring, but we putting you on our for tonight.
All right, Devin George.
Yeah, you gonna keep
Devin
going with
George
this.
was a problem, man.
We not gonna do it. He couldn't shoot. You at least gonna give me a shooter.
Slava Medvedenko.
Slide. We gonna keep the PG.
Or if you ever seen him dance, he be what's my man that was
Mark
there?
Madsen.
Mark Madsen. Yo, we got Mark Madsen in the building, the podcast, Mark Madsen. Shout out to my man B Mac. Thank you for showing up. Man, it's March Madness.
Yes, it is.
So we got to start off with that. This is usually the greatest time of the year for the college basketball enthusiasts. What have y'all been seeing this weekend from the men's tournament that has really surprised y'all? Were y'all surprised at any of the upsets that went on this weekend? I personally wasn't surprised about Ohio State. Not too much.
Ohio State got me.
It's March Madness, so you got to expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
What Ohio State, like, that did surprise many people, but to people that really follow college basketball, know if you got that one guy on your team, that one guy can take you.
Yeah.
And Oral Roberts got the nation's leading scorer.
Yeah, but they're not playing the same kind of Big Ten competition.
Right.
So you wouldn't expect Ohio State. Ohio State played down to them. That's what allowed them to.
It's a gift and a curse being the best conference in basketball.
You think they're the best?
This year the Big Ten was the best.
Yeah.
But they beat each other up all season.
Yeah.
That's why
they played all in conference.
That's why it's not a lot of Big Ten teams left besides Michigan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they just beat each other up. They just ran into a team that
Had that one player.
Yeah.
That
And
big
then
player.
their second best player wound up having 30 against Ohio State.
See, I ain't know that.
And to me, the
That's where
important
you
thing,
lose though. You could get the first guy to 30.
Right.
You can't have somebody else get 30.
and to me, the tournament has always been less about teams and more about players.
Absolutely.
Teams play well during the season, but when I have faith that what guys are going to do at the next level or who's going to be able to carry a team, it happens in the tournament.
Absolutely.
You know, that's why when Atlantic 10 teams used to always go to the Sweet 16 or from some of those smaller conferences, when you look at what those guys do in the pros and look at the schools they came from, there's no surprise there. They dominated tournament time. And that's how I find out if you're a legit prospect, as somebody who pays attention to pro more than college basketball.
You could look at, to go off of what you're saying,
Yeah.
when Delonte West and
Jameer
Jameer
Nelson.
Nelson was
Yeah.
at St. Joe's.
St. Joe's, yeah.
Nobody was picking St. Joe's to win unless you knew who Jameer and Delonte was.
Well, we're sitting here in Philly. This is a super basketball city. The
Yeah.
Big Five constantly kept a couple of teams for many, many years in the Sweet 16 or going to the Elite 8. You know, right down the street from Temple, you know, Drexel, all of these schools
LaSalle.
always had guys, and they sent those players to the pros. Those players really shined in the tournament. So, like I was saying, like Ohio State, last time I saw them really have a player that was dominant like that was what, Evan Turner?
Nah, well, Evan Turner, but that was
Yeah.
around the same time as Evan Turner, Mike Conley,
Yeah, Mike
Greg
Conley.
Oden.
Yeah.
Greg
Yeah.
Oden was dominant as hell. man.
Yeah, Oden
Jared,
was super
Jared
dominant.
Sullinger.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jared
yeah.
Sullinger. Yeah, man,
They
he
had
like-
some people. They had people at Ohio State.
They did. But I felt like Evan Turner. I mean, after
was-
Greg Oden, he was one of those type of players. Like, yo, he's a glitch in the
Oh,
matrix.
in college, absolutely.
Oh yeah, Evan Turner was the truth.
He was a problem in college.
if he doesn't break his back and throw their team off a rhythm, they go much further than they went. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I really think they had a shot to
Joe
compete that year.
Flacco to the Eagles.
Yeah, that's breaking news. We'll get to that.
Touching on that Ohio State and Oral Roberts upset,
Yeah.
just Oral Roberts beat them 75-72. Their two main guys, one had 30, one had 29
Wow.
out of the 75.
29 was the dude that was going to get 29.
29 is the leading scorer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can live with that. You know, going into the game, he gonna get his.
Yeah.
Don't try to stop him.
The next
Let him get. We can't have nobody else.
person
Yeah.
on their team had 6.
They,
So
That's
when you
all Ohio
when you
State, man.
when you play like when you got one of the little mid majors, that one person is gonna carry you.
it depends. Though.
Steph with Davidson
But they gotta be a special talent.
got to be
though.
special.
Yeah.
Got to be special. Like Steph with Davidson,
Absolutely.
Jimmer with BYU,
Yep.
Dane with Weaver.
Dame with Weber. Like the mid majors are gonna have that one scorer that's gonna be like
If they in the tourney, absolutely.
yes,
Yeah, they gonna have that guy that's a straight killer if they make the tourney, because that's the only way they're gonna make it.
right.
I watched a couple of games. One of them I watched was Michigan and LSU.
That was.
I saw LSU's first game against St. Bonaventure, and I never saw like a college team that talked more trash and was more demonstrative on the court than LSU. And I didn't feel like I was watching a really good basketball team. I just felt like, you know, they were juiced up before the game, and they came to intimidate.
Yeah,
But
pretty much.
they backed St. Bonaventure down early, but against Michigan they couldn't do that.
No.
They could stay in the game as long as they could, but you know, Michigan State. I mean, not Michigan State. Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Juwan Howard's coaching the hell out of them kids.
Yeah.
Why I was coach of the year.
Because listen, they got blitzed at several points in that game, and they held the fort down until it was time to take control of the game late.
But when you got, but that's where the coaching comes in with
Yeah.
the separation with Juwan Howard and their coach.
Yeah.
Juwan Howard's been there, Final Four, NBA champion. He's been there in those pressure moments, so he can talk to his players like, "Look, settle down. We good.
Right.
Let's get us back on track, and let's get after it."
Right. And low key, I just want to see Juwan Howard go as far as possible because I want to see
I
other
want to see him win. I
top
want to see him win the
players.
chip.
I want to see other guys like Juwan Howard come into college and get these jobs or get these jobs in the pros and just really coach these young players up because they just played with so much poise and composure. And LSU is the kind of team that pretty much feeds off of emotion and intimidation. And they're not afraid to take a technical foul in the tourney. It was wild. They looked undisciplined. I was like, this team is out of control. Like they celebrate every little thing they do.
I don't never want to see. I hope Juwan Howard never gets an NBA job, and
I'm with you on that.
and I say that because since he got Michigan playing top notch basketball right now,
Yeah.
if he gets a head coaching job, that means he's going to a bad team,
Oh yeah, horrible
and
situation.
he's going to get 2 years. And if he doesn't turn it around, he's going to get fired.
I don't want to
Houston.
see him in Houston. I don't want to
Houston
see
currently.
anybody in Houston.
Houston currently. That would be
Listen.
Juwan Howard in the NBA. But my reason is not. I want Juwan Howard to stay in college for a different reason. Reason I want him to stay in college because of the effect that he can have on players going into the league.
Yeah.
Teaching them the game the right way instead of getting them in the league when they already got these horrible ass habits. You get them when they're in college, 18, 19 years old,
Right.
where you can really make an impression on them. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's my thing too. It's like no one can convey the kind of pressure these kids are going to be under coming from a big school, being in a big program, and being expected to win than Juwan Howard. And I hope he keeps a couple of these kids around a couple of years and really develops a program that has a couple of those 4-year guys that are starters.
I think
or
that'll
maybe some
come back.
juniors.
I think that'll come back.
Yeah, and Michigan is not one of the programs that get a lot of one and dones.
Yeah.
So Juwan Howard's going to keep you around for at least 2 years.
Yeah, I don't want
Unless
him getting
you-
a lot of one and done.
Unless you're doing numbers where he gotta let you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't want him getting a lot of one and dones. I don't want him to fall in that trap. But that was one of the few games I got to take a look at. That was probably the game I watched the most. I haven't really kept up much else with the tournament. Out of the remaining teams, who's your favorite?
Gonzaga.
Gonzaga and Michigan. Those are my two.
Just don't sleep on Loyola, Illinois.
Okay,
Just don't. Just
so
don't
we're
sleep
looking
on
at
it.
Loyola.
Yeah, at least
Sleeper to the 4?
at least
or
to the
8?
at least to the 4. They were Loyola was they were misseeded.
Okay.
They-
I can give you that.
Coming to the tournament, well, when the tournament happened, they were a eight seed. But at the end of the regular season and at the end of the conference tournament, when they picked the best 68 teams, they went 1 through 68.
Yeah,
So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to get 1 seeds,
Yeah.
right? And then it's going to go down that way. Loyola was ranked 9th. So how are you an 8 seed? That's a 3 seed.
Yeah.
So by you being an 8th seed, you're dangerous. That's why they beat. I wasn't surprised that they beat Illinois, because
I'm not gonna lie to you because Illinois, the hype around Illinois,
there was a lot of hype
it was
around Illinois.
there's a lot of hype
Right.
around them. And when you saw them play, even though they're not a big time school,
Right.
When you seen them hoop, they look dangerous.
they did. But that's why with me watching a lot of college basketball, I wasn't surprised that they lost to Loyola. Loyola's like one of the best defensive teams in college basketball,
Oh yeah.
but nobody know that. The committee they get it wrong a lot. They get it wrong in college football with picking them the 4 teams for the playoffs. They get it wrong a lot. So to put them as an 8th seed and knowing that they're gonna win their first game and then got to play the 1 seed, the 1 seed got to be like, this is really a 3 seed that we're playing in the second round.
Do you think they did that for television?
I think they did it because of the circumstances surrounding the sport right now with COVID and everything. Like,
Yeah.
I think
I don't think it was that.
I think if it was like a probably I think if it was like a regular season, no COVID,
Well, you would
when
see
they-
a lot more bigger teams.
if they'd have played a full schedule, then they wouldn't have been the 8th seed.
No, because the big time schools would have been able to play their whole schedule
Right.
out of conference games. Then they would have been able to, like North Carolina. We were terrible this year,
Yeah.
but when you look at who we played, that was a tough schedule,
Yeah.
especially with no real off-season workouts, no real training camp, no nothing like that. You getting right to it. So when you
And
when you
y'all was
start
young.
and then when you start to get a groove, it's too late in the season. Feel what I'm saying? So
All right. Let's get some Sweet 16 picks in here. So I pulled up the round of 16. I got our Sweet 16 bracket. We're gonna go game by game. I want to know who y'all think is gonna win, and I'm gonna save these down. I'm gonna record them. I'm gonna write them down, and we'll come back next week and figure out exactly who got it right, who picked more of the games. I'm gonna start off Gonzaga versus Creighton, 1 versus 5 seed in the West bracket.
Gonzaga.
So you got Gonzaga too.
Gonzaga,
I'm picking Gonzaga too. USC versus Oregon.
I'm taking Oregon.
I think I'm taking Oregon too.
I think I'm gonna go with USC.
I don't think
Okay.
USC got enough to run with Oregon.
All right, let's go Michigan, Florida State.
As much as I would like to say Florida State can beat Michigan, I have to take Michigan.
I'm gonna go with Michigan too, but I won't be surprised if Florida State defense.
Yeah, because their defense is
Win it.
crazy.
They have some good athletes on Florida State. I got to look
Yeah.
at them. And I'm not used to seeing Florida State be, this competitive in basketball. So it's refreshing to see.
The last couple years, though, they've been like this.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm just talking about historically.
No,
This
historically,
is
yeah, they've
not
been a
basketball
That's a
school.
football school.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
All right, let's see. UCLA, Alabama.
Alabama. They score. They score too much.
Alabama's
Yeah,
another
but
one
they're
of the athletic schools.
they're streaky. If
Yeah.
they're not hot, it's over.
I just-
UCLA if they play enough defense, just enough, they can sneak out of that one.
I just think Alabama's got too much firepower.
Yeah,
Too
if
much
they
firepower.
on, if they on, yeah, I go Alabama with that one. But I wouldn't be surprised if UCLA sneak out of that.
Here's what I think is the best matchup of the whole round of 16: Baylor versus Villanova.
No, I don't think that's a good matchup at all.
You don't think it is? Who you got?
Baylor,
You sure?
positive.
I mean, Villanova. Listen,
When you
can never count them out. Them and their coach.
Right.
This year you can.
right, but Baylor has probably the best defensive guard,
Yeah.
and Villanova's starting point guard is out with an ACL.
Oh, okay.
Not good.
I'm just trying to support the locals, man.
I get
I
it.
love Villanova.
Villanova gonna put a fight up.
They're gonna put a fight up.
They can win it.
Yeah.
Look,
but-
they got the coach, man. They got the coach.
And-
I never felt like their talent was through the roof or anything. I just feel like they're always well coached and they move like a machine. They move.
No,
they always play very well.
Nah, the coach definitely gets the players that he wants that fits his scheme.
Yeah.
So they'll always be in a fight.
Mhm.
'Cause they don't rely on one person to get them 40. They get a team. Their teams is 10 apiece. Maybe the high score is 15.
Yeah.
So that means you got 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 people scoring at least 8 to 10 to 12 points.
All right, I'm on the ESPN app right now for this next game, and it says it's Oral Roberts versus Arkansas, and their matchup predictor says Arkansas has a 92.4% chance of winning that game. Do you think that's a little lopsided? Do you think Oral Roberts has a shot?
They do.
They do have a shot.
Do you think it says
not
Oral
that
Roberts
lopsided.
has a 7.6% chance of winning this game?
It's not that lopsided.
No, it's not that
So
lopsided.
so if I go put some money on the game, if I put it on Oral Roberts, I'm not looking like a fool.
No.
No. You saw what they just did.
Yeah, man, I'm looking at this.
And that was a better defensive team.
And Arkansas is. I saw Arkansas a couple games and they're real sloppy with the basketball.
Moses Moody looks like their top player, the
Yeah.
guard, 17 points per game.
Yeah.
And that's the only category he leads in. That's weird. And they don't really have impressive numbers from any one player on their roster. Just looking up and down at the stats per game. This is going to be very interesting. And I'm going to stick here because Oral Roberts averages half a point lower per game than them. It's 81.5 to Arkansas's 82. Oral Roberts gives up more points, 75 to 67. But they also shoot they pretty much shoot the same field goal percentage, right?
Look at them free throws.
Let me see. Doesn't have the free throw stats here. But let's see. They're very close in assists per game.
Get almost the same amount of rebounds. They're not that far off in rebounds.
No, they're not. We got blocks per game. They're not that far behind. This is probably going to be a game I'm going to have to tune into, man.
The biggest thing right here, though, the
What?
the
What's up?
streak.
Yeah, the streak. Oral Roberts
Or
won
on a
7 in a row.
row.
They're hot.
Because they had to win. They had to win out
To
in the
get
conference tournament to get
Yeah.
in. And they don't have it, but when I saw Oral Roberts against Florida, Oral Roberts shoots 98% from the free throw line as a team.
Wow. 98%?
I mean, 80. I'm sorry, 89
Oh, I was about to
as
say
a
98%
as
is
a
crazy.
team. So in a tournament, when that game get close,
They going to that
you
free throw
can't
line.
put them on the line.
Nah, you can't. Wow.
So Arkansas, it's a trap game for Arkansas. Arkansas don't come out and dominate,
And Oral Roberts.
or Roberts going to smoke them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's serious, man. That's serious. That might be the game to watch. So we don't have a pick there. We're just saying Are you picking Arkansas or are you picking Oral Roberts?
I'm not picking Arkansas.
Me,
I can't pick Arkansas.
since I sports bet, I'm looking at the point spread right now. It says Arkansas by 11. I'll take Oral Roberts plus 11.
Listen, since I'm 5'7" and I was never good at basketball, I was only kind of all right. I'm taking Oral Roberts. I'm here for the underdog.
That's
man.
it.
Nah,
That's what
definitely.
we doing, man.
That plus 11 is good
I would not be surprised if Oral Roberts win outright. Wouldn't be
at
surprised.
all. Because especially with how Arkansas plays, if they're not hitting, and because they like to run, they get up and down, and they get one pass, one shot, and if that shot don't hit, or Roberts come down, they already got people that can put up 30. It's gonna get ugly.
And Dave, you mentioned the number one scorer for Oral Roberts. He averages 24.5 per game. He shoots 47.9%, and he shoots just under 90% from free throw.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's-
What do you do with somebody like that?
Pray.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Somebody's going to have to step up. Moses Moody, it's your time, baby.
You pray he have an off night.
That's it. Right.
That's it. There's nothing you can do with somebody like that because they're ready for it.
They call it that guard mid-court max.
Oh, he's just in range?
He just let it go.
Oh, man.
That's crazy.
We'll talk about that in a minute because it's just a mentality I want to see
crazy.
from more upper tier college players. One thing I never liked about college was like robot basketball. Like, I understand your coach has a system, but coaches got to kind of let these guys be free out there. You know, a lot of times guys get to the NBA, you're like, I never knew he could do this. Yeah, because his coach was treating him like a puppet, like a ventriloquist, and wasn't ever letting him display everything he could do. One of the players I remember, and yes, he went high enough in the draft, but I don't think he ever really got to display his full talent and skill level was Victor Oladipo. When I used to watch him in college, I hated
Indiana.
watching Indiana because I'm like, the best player on the floor is not playing like the best player on the floor.
Yeah.
And it used to frustrate me. I'm like, they got him playing like, I don't know, like one of the guys. He's not allowed to do anything. And then whenever the team got bottled up, he had to come grab the rebound. And then, you know, he just took over the game at moments. He's like, okay, here's where they need me to just take over. He'll re-engage. And I just, you know, I like seeing these
How many years
guys.
was Oladipo there?
Maybe
With
two.
Yeah, it might have been 2. It might have been 2 years. But it was crazy. If Oladipo was 6'7", he'd be one of the best players in the NBA, hands down. But his height kind of held him back at the pro level.
Yeah.
But let's go to Loyola, Chicago, Oregon State.
Loyola.
So we're going Loyola here?
Even though like Oregon State hot, but I'm gonna go with Loyola.
All right, let's see.
Hold on.
Like
let
it's
me look at
like
this.
especially in a tournament, like you can't go wrong with a team that got a bunch of juniors and seniors.
I did see that. That's a very mature team. And especially these days. That didn't used to matter that much, but these days it matters.
It's gonna be tight.
It's gonna be tight.
It's gonna be tight.
It's
Their
definitely gonna be
points,
tight.
Oregon State, their points against is 63. Loyola's is 59. So either team, they both play a defense. So
But you know what? That
rebounds,
Oregon State field goal percentage as a team
you see that,
is
right?
not looking good. 43.6%, while Loyola is 50.4% as a team. That means they get to the basket. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And the like
There's a lot of shots around the rim.
Yeah.
the same guys that they're pretty much trotting out there on the court is the same guys that was on the team a couple years ago when they made that Sweet 16 run.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
you can't fight chemistry.
You know what I mean? So they, like I said, they juniors and seniors. So they got it.
Well, they're gonna be coming to win it anyway because they're not a team that's supposed to be there.
Right.
regardless.
They play with house money.
Yeah. So win or lose, they bring in the house.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and last but not least, Syracuse versus Houston. What are we looking at?
Syracuse.
So Buddy Boeheim, he's continuing to run.
I'm going with Houston. They just
Ooh, you going with Houston?
they score too
Buddy
much.
Boeheim
that
is the
defense-
Okay.
They
They
want
played
you.
that 2-3 matchup.
Yeah, they want you to shoot threes.
Yeah.
Houston shoots threes.
And this is the alarming stat when you talk about that. Syracuse average points against is 67. Houston's is 58. That's a stark difference.
Yes.
Different, but you're playing in different conferences.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like I saw Houston play Cincinnati.
Cincinnati's tough.
Cincinnati was up by 7. No, Houston was up by 7 going into halftime. They won by 51.
Wow.
Cincinnati was supposed to be tough.
Yeah, it's not Kenny Satterfield, Cincinnati.
Nah,
No.
it's not.
Those days are long over. But shout out to the tournament, man.
It's been a good tournament though. I damn sure would say that. I didn't expect so many upsets, especially in the first round.
So who do y'all think draft stock has risen the most in this tournament?
Probably somebody from one of them lower schools.
Man, I don't know. I think it's pretty much the same. Like, Cade Cunningham came in at maybe the number 1 pick in the draft. And he left number 1 pick in the draft.
Nah, I don't think he's number 1 pick.
I think he is.
Gonzaga, my boy from Gonzaga.
Nah, I don't think he jumped. He's gonna jump to the number 1 pick. Like you,
What pick would he be?
he probably be lottery.
So top 12.
Yeah, because you got to also look at them kids that didn't go to college and played in the G League.
Yeah. But I still think he's better than some of them too.
Maybe, but with Cade Cunningham, like,
But all right, so
can you pass on a 6'8" point guard?
No, you can't. But what about the dude from what's the school? The one that's averaging 29 a game.
Oh, Max Admin. Oh, he's averaging
Mid-range
24 and a
max.
half. Mid-range max.
No. Mid-court man.
Midcourt
Midcourt
max.
max,
Midcourt
yeah.
max.
No,
His stock is rising.
yeah,
His stock is definitely rising.
Yeah.
He just beat Florida
And Ohio State.
And Ohio State. Those is 2 big programs for a
but
small
the
team.
knock on him is he's small.
But that's, I mean,
Listen, if you
If
can
you
put the
ain't
ball
s-
in the bucket,
you could
at
put
the
the-
next level, your value is there.
No, right. But
Look
as
at
far
Ja
as,
Morant.
as far as drafting him high,
High,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah,
like
yeah.
he's too small. Like
how tall is he?
he's like 6 foot maybe, 6'1" ish.
He gotta really he gotta burn the nets. if
Right,
he
like
doing-
like
Yeah.
like Steph burned the nets, but
Yeah.
Steph was 6'3" in college.
which people don't understand that makes a big difference.
Right. And then like Ja Morant was small, but he
explosive.
Could, yeah, he could leap.
Yeah. His retarded.
So if the kid Max was about 6'3", 6'2", 6'3" ish,
Around Russell height.
yeah, then he would be up there because
Yeah.
he could fill it up.
They got him listed at 6'1", and
That really mean he 5'11".
I could see him getting drafted in the the Tyrese Maxey range, maybe mid-round pick. I could see that. Being the smaller guy that can shoot, has
Depending-
a handle
yeah.
and things like that, little athleticism.
But he'll
yeah.
definitely get picked. He should.
I tell you what, if they keep winning and he get them to like the Elite Eight, Final Four,
Oh, his stock's definitely jumping
he's
then.
going.
So here's a question I have for both of y'all. It's a special question. I want to save it. All right. Say you're a prospect, right? And the talent is there, the production is there. We don't know if anything happened or anything that affects your draft stock. Would you want to be a top lottery pick, or would you rather go mid-round and be underrated? Would you want that top 3, top 4, top 5 draft spot in the NBA? Or would you want to be that mid-round pick, maybe 13, 14, 15? Or maybe even 21, 22? Talent the same. You could be an NBA All-Star, future Hall of Famer. No one knows, though, at that point. But you know what you are. Would you care about being a top or a mid-round pick?
Whew, that's tough.
That is tough.
I
I want to see how y'all view this. This is a good sports question.
I go first. Me personally, the goal is always to be one of the top picks,
Yeah.
right? But if you don't make the top pick, me personally, that would give me the incentive that chip on my shoulder.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Motivation.
I didn't get my goal was lottery.
Right.
I ain't get that. Okay, now I'm gonna get to work. We gonna really get busy. You know what I mean? That's me. But yeah, that I wouldn't mind. To me, it wouldn't matter either way. But if I did go in the later rounds, it's definitely adding fuel to the fire.
Yeah. Like you wanna be one of the top guys picked because you could potentially be the face of a franchise.
Yeah, and there's a lot more guaranteed money.
It's a lot more guaranteed.
Lot
Yeah,
money.
yeah, yeah. Like
Lot.
But then-
generational wealth early.
But then piggybacking off of Mac, like if you know in your heart that you are a top guy,
You're a killer.
but you slid all the way to the mids to late,
Yeah,
the chip is gonna be there. So now it's like when I get drafted, I'm reporting to the facility the next day, and we getting right to it.
Yep.
right.
First thing in the morning, shots up, we getting busy.
So you know, what I mean that's a tough question.
Here's the thing. I always said, yeah, and I agree with y'all. You want to be that top guy because you want that recognition. But to me, the recognition at the beginning means nothing. You know what I mean? It's what you do. It's the end result of all the hard work you put in. And at the
Absolutely.
end, when it's all said and done, whatever doesn't come out in the wash will come out in the rinse, right? And I said, you know what? Make me the 21st pick. Because that means I'm probably going to a team with some talent that's going to allow me to grow. And if
Yep.
I already know I'm a killer, I'm coming to take somebody's spot. It's either somebody on the way out the league or somebody on the way out
To
of
another
the starting
team.
line or another team.
They ain't even
Yeah.
got to be on their way out nowhere.
Yeah.
If I'm there and I'm coming for
coming.
your spot.
And also, I want a shorter term contract. I don't want to be locked in for the 4+1.
Right.
I want to be locked in for the 2 and 2.
That's your agent. Your agent got to work.
Exactly.
Work some
That's
magic.
like with that question. That's why I say, remember when Adam Morrison got drafted third?
Yeah.
I think if he didn't get drafted that high,
He would have been
He
solid.
remains.
yes,
Yeah, he stays in
because
the league longer.
because now you're going to a team where you have to be the man.
Right.
If he'd have went later on to Sacramento, to the Spurs, to Dallas,
With
you
a
could
better
just,
owner.
where you could just fit in.
See, but I also
If
think
he would have gone
if
to a
he
better
would've-
owner.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah.
But if he would have, I think that falls on to the scouts too, because they didn't see that he's not that kind of guy. The scout should have been able to see, like, crunch time, 2 minutes left. We can't give him the ball and tell him to go get a bucket. You
But
know
that's
what I
the
mean?
thing. That was him and Gonzaga.
And
Yeah.
Gonzaga, but who's Gonzaga playing consistently?
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Like somebody like him, he
needed to go
He needed to
in the
go
later
somewhere
rounds.
else.
Yeah, right.
You can't have him be in the face of a franchise in the NBA
Not at all.
because he can't handle the ball. He can't go by anybody.
Nope.
He can shoot.
He barely did it in
That's it.
Gonzaga. In Gonzaga.
Right. He was just a catch and shoot guy, and then he was clutch.
Jimmer.
But then in the NBA, everybody's bigger than you, faster than you, and stronger than you.
Yeah.
And they're not gonna let you get that shot off. When you make that name for yourself in college, when you come into the NBA, the NBA guys watch March Madness.
No, they definitely do. Yeah,
They
everybody knew who
Absolutely.
Adam Morrison was.
They know who you are coming into the league.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I'll be damned if we playing y'all and I'm guarding you. No, you're not doing this.
You saw
Right.
what they did to Lonzo when he came in?
Right.
His dad was doing all that barking. Pat Bev said, all right, come on.
Yeah. Got right in
Right.
his pocket.
Right in his pocket.
That's
Yeah.
what that,
Tip from the jump ball.
Steph had that great run in his first couple years in the league. Nobody wasn't letting him get that shot off. No,
They weren't.
you are
They
not.
definitely
No,
weren't.
you're not doing this.
Nope.
They definitely were. And also, guys got to develop physically. If I compare Adam Morrison to somebody, it would probably be like a Korkmaz. That's probably the role he needed.
Yeah.
He needed to be like a Furkan Korkmaz.
A Kyle
Like,
Korver.
Yeah, Kyle Korver,
Just
come
a
off screen,
J.J. Redick.
shoot. Nah, I don't want to say Reddick because Reddick was a killer in college.
So was
Reddick was a,
they were
Adam
one
Morrison was a-
they were
was a
one and
killer
two.
in
Reddick's
college.
role was exactly the same in college as it was in.
Yeah,
Yo.
it wasn't
but you also got to think about this team
Yeah.
Redick had
Yeah.
around him.
I would say Reddick was clearly directly transferable into the NBA because he didn't need the ball in his hands. To
Yes.
score.
No, yeah, he was
Yeah.
prepared better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no. I'm just saying Reddick's style of ball was, I'm coming off screens and I'm shooting. Adam Morrison was putting the ball on the floor. He was making it happen. He was
had-
fixing his own middle.
He had to be everything.
Yeah, he had to be everything. And that's the problem. I didn't think he was physically ready, but I just didn't foresee him not performing as low as he did. But also the franchise was terrible. So that's why I said,
Horrible at
like,
that point in time.
I'd rather go a lot lower, you know what I mean? And then just like you said, put in that work. Let me go kill this 9-year veteran.
But that's a lot. The problem is that a lot of kids, well, I don't want to say kids, but
Yeah.
a lot of people that coming into the league, even in prep, don't want to put the work in.
Yeah, they want everything handed to them.
You know what I mean? Especially when you make it to the league, right? Your goal is the league. You expect now, all right, I'm here. Everything's cakewalk from
Yeah.
here. You know
Everybody
what I
get
mean?
complacent
But
when
you
they get
don't
there.
understand that ninth year man,
Right.
he's fighting for a contract.
He's fighting for his family.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
And he might have a-
he got to put food on these.
Yes.
On these
He got a
on
real
these
life to
plates.
live. He
You know
got
what I mean?
wives and kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just coming in fresh face, thinking he gonna get this up to you. You are losing your mind.
He playing for a mortgage.
Yeah, he
And
got something to pay for. He got not only his family, but he taking care of his people's friends, his girl,
Probably his
peoples,
wife family, girlfriend family,
you know what I mean?
whoever.
whoever.
And I wonder how many young players, especially like the prep school kids, realize how much time it takes to put in. I've never been on that level,
They don't.
but I've seen the guys on that level. They're putting time in that weight room. They're putting time with real physical trainers and developing their body, and they're putting time in on the court. It's their lifestyle.
But it's also
Yeah.
not just weight room and court.
Yeah.
You also got to study film.
And film, yes.
You got to break down, like you should be, if you're practicing on correcting your form, if your form as far as jump shot, if you're trying to correct your form, if you're just going to shoot and not recording it and seeing where you went wrong,
Yeah.
what are you fixing?
Or if you're working with a shooting coach that's not
Well,
your
yeah.
brother or your best friend, like
Yeah.
Ben Simmons.
It's crazy.
Shout
was-
out to Ben Simmons.
that
though,
was-
man.
that was-
Somebody need to let
that
Ben
was
Simmons.
one
Let
of-
me get my hands on Ben Simmons. We're
Or,
going to get that jumper
or
right.
Markel Fultz too. Who the hell was he working with? Because
I think Philly really messed him
I
up.
think so too.
I don't know, man.
I think
I
His,
don't know.
his jump
really
shot was
messed-
perfectly fine.
But that's
the year
Before he got to Philly, he was all right.
But that's another guy I think was misdrafted because he was out there at Washington.
I think he went to the wrong team. I don't think he was misdrafted.
No. Because I think here's the thing: he was at University of Washington. They played absolutely nobody.
That's not
for
true.
you to be. Well,
They in the Pac-12. Yeah, Pac-12
They're in
is
the Pac-12.
UCLA,
Oregon,
Oregon
Arizona,
State,
Arizona State,
if you're a number
Oregon.
one,
I mean,
Washington,
Washington
State.
okay,
State.
if you're a number one draft pick talent, you should at least be making the tournament. You got to be able to carry your team to the tournament
Ben
under
Simmons
any
didn't.
circumstances.
Ben Simmons didn't.
Ben Simmons didn't. That LSU team was trash.
It was trash, but they definitely won as many games as they did because Ben was there.
Yeah.
And everybody knew he
an
wasn't really
extent.
committed to the game. There was an understanding with Ben Simmons. I'm just here to fulfill my 1 year requirement.
But that's a
You saw the
problem.
documentary.
But that's-
and his godfather was the coach. So that was like, there was a whole lot of just
Dewan Wagner,
nastiness
Dewan
in
Wagner didn't make the tournament either.
Sure didn't.
He made he only went to the NIT.
that. And he was at Memphis.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure didn't.
All right, I guess y'all poked a hole in my theory right there. But then again, Dewan Wagner also didn't last.
He only was there. Well, I think he could have. I think it was more stuff outside of
Yeah.
basketball.
Yeah, well,
that had to
it
do
was
with-
definitely things beyond the court, and also LeBron came in and they moved on from a lot of people. I think his
Yeah.
chances at getting a second look once LeBron were there were minimized because they had to build that.
because he was
team.
getting busy.
He was.
he was
Dewan
getting
Wagner had a
busy.
great rookie campaign.
Him and Ricky Davis.
yeah, him and
They
Ricky
was getting
Davis.
to it.
Ricky Davis thought they brought LeBron in to help him score more.
He tripping.
That
Yeah.
was the craziest statement of all time.
I mean, when you think back on it, it really ain't.
It really wasn't.
It really
crazy.
isn't that bad to because you're thinking
Hold on,
about how
man.
Brown is
LeBron
right
was
now.
Jesus in sneakers.
Listen,
Come
listen.
on. No,
Just
I'm
hear me
talking
out.
about
Just
coming
hear me
out of
out.
high school.
Just
He
hear
was-
me out.
He was
Just-
out of pocket.
Just hear me out, bro.
And he tried
Just
to-
hear me out. How many players that we've seen that are top talent, right? That are hyped beyond measure, like a LeBron out of high school. Kobe
Yeah.
came out of high school and stunk it up.
I don't want to say. I don't want
In
to
the
say he stunk
playoffs?
it up.
Yeah, he stunk it up.
He stunk it
I
up.
mean,
But you break
you
Bron.
saw it there though. You saw the
Yeah, you
Yes,
saw it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what I'm saying, like, but you didn't hear his teammates on the Lakers saying Kobe ain't coming in here taking our shots.
Yeah.
Right.
You gonna earn your stripes through the practice, through the preseason, and if you do what you're supposed to do in your 5-10 minutes a game, then we might give you some more. Where Bron and Ricky Davis, he's already established,
Yeah.
so he's thinking as any other vet would. We gonna bring in some help to help me out.
But here's the difference. Kobe,
I don't
we've
see nothing
seen-
wrong with it.
We've seen that athleticism and body type
Oh, it's
in Bill
freakish.
before.
It was freakish.
LeBron was Calvin Johnson. He was Wilt Chamberlain. Like
Yeah,
he was
he
a
was
one
different.
of one.
He
There'll
was
never be
different.
another.
But-
or if there is, it won't be the same.
But let's take Ricky Davis out and
Okay.
give Chris Milliner that spot. You and Ricky Davis just switch roles, but you're his height, you're his weight.
Yeah.
You had his resume. LeBron coming in, you're not going to be like, oh, why he's coming in and taking my spot. You're gonna say I am established already. I seen
The team
seen,
is mine.
I seen film. He's a ball distributor. He's coming in here to get me some shots.
I'm
Yep.
a realist. They're saying he's going to be as great as Jordan. I know my time
They
is coming
said the
because I'm
same
Ricky
thing.
Davis.
They said the
And-
same thing about Harold Miner.
And the NBA rescinded my triple double because I shot at my own basket. So this is why I'm saying, yo, I'm a realist. I'm like, yo, I know what's coming. Let me get traded. Let me get my ass out to Vancouver at the time, and let me go get some money out there. Because I saw it coming.
It's just hard to like. I'm on Ricky Davis' side.
Yeah.
Like if I'm
yeah.
established in the league and at the time this is my team.
I'm not giving my
I
team.
would
I'm
get
not
the
giving
thought-
it up for no rookie.
I
bro.
would get the thought process for a player that was a little more dedicated and serious and committed to basketball than Ricky
Ricky
Davis.
was what? How many years in at
He
that
was
point?
kind of a clown on the court. a lot
What,
of
3?
time.
3, 4.
3? Yeah, that's solid time. That's a
Yeah.
solid time.
Yeah.
man.
I mean, yeah.
So I would have thought this. I would have been on the same. Even Darius Miles.
Yeah.
Said the same thing. Bron is coming in there to help us win.
Right.
Yeah.
Boozer,
He ain't coming
Boozer
in-
said the same thing. Like we
He did.
But listen. Come, all right, man. Listen, yo, I want to talk about the NBA because I'm not. Luol Deng was not really a scorer that Chicago counted on. I liked his game. He was solid. He was dependable. I put him in that Mbaya Moute kind of.
you know how
player.
Boozer used to get his rebounds because teams would go double Noah so he won't get the rebound.
All right.
That is true.
I give you that. I give you that.
This
I
Joe
could
Kim
see
was
that,
getting
yeah.
all them.
Yeah, but Boozer did have a lot of 20-point, 12 rebound nights with Chicago.
And he didn't play a lot of fourth quarters because his defense was terrible. Taj Gibson played a lot of fourth quarters.
Yeah, Taj did move him up on out of that roster. He moved him right up on out of there. What are we saying about the impact with LeBron's injury to the Lakers? He's got a high ankle sprain. It's looking like 2 to 4 weeks. What are we saying, man? Like, do you think the Lakers can hold water,
No,
tread water?
no.
Because right now,
They're gonna
they're
fall.
number 1 in the West, or no,
No,
they're not number
they're
1.
number
they're
three.
They're
two.
number 3.
Number
Number
3
three.
now.
Yeah, behind
Okay.
Phoenix, right?
All right,
Yeah.
so they just fell behind Phoenix, and Utah's number 1, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
How far do we think the Lakers fall in the seeding?
5.
As far like
I mean, we're talking 2 to 4 weeks, possibly.
Braun out 2 to 4 weeks.
I think he's out longer
out,
than that.
AD out for like another 3 weeks.
Yeah, AD is still out.
I wouldn't be surprised if they drop all the way out.
Nah.
Wow.
No. I don't see that.
I mean, there's a lot of really good records in the West, but
I wouldn't be
I
surprised.
don't see them falling
Hey,
back.
no,
to
no,
500.
Depends
No.
on what they do with the trade deadline.
Right. But I'm not saying I'm like, but that could be a good thing for the Lakers.
Yeah.
Because if they fall all the way out,
I mean, they putting Bron and AD on the shelf until next year.
no. If they fall all the way out of the playoffs race, they got to play in from teams 7 to 10. So if the Lakers are in that 7 to 10 range,
7 to 10 range, yeah.
so that
Yeah.
means let's say the Lakers get an 8 seed. Who wants to play them in the first round?
Nobody, because they're gonna smoke Utah if they catch them in the first
Not
round.
necessarily.
I think Utah's fraudulent.
Not
I don't buy it.
necessarily.
So when you come back with a healthy AD and a healthy LeBron as an 8 seed against Utah, they're gonna kill
But you
Utah.
talk. But see, you at the same time, you got to remember the whole chemistry. The chemistry gets thrown off. Now you don't have 2 of your top players in. Of course, they're gonna make a big impact because one is arguably one of the greatest players
I
of
think
ever.
the sweet spot for the Lakers would be to fall to 7 or 6. You know, if they can get into that 7-6 range, even 5, because I think that guarantees them. I mean, I think they're gonna get out the first round anyway.
Nobody
but I
wants
think
to
they
play them in
draw
the
a
first
more
round.
favorable matchup.
I don't
and
think
they'll have AD and LeBron there.
I don't think falling to 6 would benefit them because if they fall to 6, most likely they got the Clippers first round.
No.
I'm trying to believe
Well,
in
the
the
Clippers
Clippers.
are what?
Clippers are 4 right now.
I'm trying.
Well, if they fall out, the Clippers are going to be they could get
well,
to
the
third.
Clippers will move up.
Yeah.
Theoretically,
So
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like if the Lakers fall to 6 and then Utah stay 1, the Suns stay 2, Clippers stay 3,
Yeah.
3-6 is
Yeah.
Clippers Lakers.
Yeah.
But the Clippers don't want to play the Lakers.
I don't think.
Now, I don't think the Clippers want to play.
But
the
that
Lakers
would be
either.
a hell of an opening round series.
Right.
Listen, the ratings for that. At the end. And they snapped the Hawks 8-game winning streak.
And the
But the
Mavericks,
Pelicans-
beat up on them too.
Pelicans is a solid team though.
I mean,
When you look outside of Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, who isn't really the best at creating his shot. When you look out Kawhi. When you look outside of them two, who is really creating something?
but that's those two right there supposed to be two
It ain't Reggie
A1
Jackson.
elite players, and that's supposed to carry you past a team like the Pelicans.
But again,
And the
Kawhi,
NBA, something's not right over there in LA.
Kawhi is not his strong suit. Isn't creating. He has to create in LA. Toronto, he didn't have to create. San Antonio, he didn't have to create because you
No.
had Tim Duncan, Manu, and TP, and then.
Right.
But
And,
Kyle Lowry being able to create because
and
Kawhi didn't have to.
Siakam was only good because of
System.
Lowry and Kawhi.
Exactly.
If Kawhi's not there, Siakam doesn't get that Spicy Pete nickname.
Hey, I'm not knocking him. He did what he's supposed to do. He played his role. He got his bag.
Yeah.
He did what he was supposed to do.
Here's
See,
here's what I'm gonna ask you though. We're gonna stay with injuries. LaMelo Ball, does he still get Rookie of the Year?
no.
Who would you give it to then?
Only person that you can give it to is Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
Yo,
And the only reason you can't give it to Melo, as much as he deserves it,
I think he deserves it. And he
his
should still
body
get it.
of work is still
He
it's
got
still
over-
time
a
left.
little over half of a season.
You know
You
what?
saw what they did with Zion.
I did, yeah.
You think Zion deserved it?
No, absolutely not.
Zion didn't.
Josh should have got it.
Zion didn't get the Rookie of the Year because he didn't play half of the first half.
He-
Was putting that work from
The whole
opening.
season.
And that's the same thing with this situation. Like, even though they both been putting that work,
Game.
Yeah.
Rozier actually likes to play with someone else that has the ball in their hand.
That's because Terry learned last year. It ain't. It ain't.
if you not built like that, then being a man on the team is not what you want to be.
No.
So like that was his first year in Charlotte. Like it was rough, but now that Gordon Hayward is playing somewhat like Utah Gordon Hayward,
Yeah.
and then LaMelo Ball coming in doing what he's doing, and then Terry Rozier could just sit back and just play. And Devontae Graham is nice on that team too.
Yeah, he is. I'm like,
He surprised me.
Yeah.
if I
he
had a
surprised
vote,
me.
I would give it to him just because he was so impressive. And like you said, he was there from game one, and he actually got over the half of a season mark. And it's a legitimate injury. It's not like something they're nursing, like, oh, we don't, we're just going to be cautious. No, his wrist is really injured.
Yeah.
And
Now that with Ja and Zion, I wouldn't have been surprised to say, oh, co rookie of the year. But even though we knew Ja deserved it,
Nah, that was bull. Ja should have got that straight out. Because
He did.
Ja got the. It shouldn't have even been an argument with Zion, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Zion shouldn't have even have been as good as he was in those 20 games. You can't
put 20 games against the whole
outshine.
season.
Yeah, you can't take 20 games and outshine a whole season's worth of work.
I'm taking LaMelo because his performance put his team in playoff contention.
Yes.
I can't take Anthony Edwards because they still absolutely suck. And
Yes.
Karl Anthony Towns.
Well,
is there
they're in the
some of
West,
time.
too.
That's not an excuse anymore, man.
The West is
That's
tougher
not-
than the East.
I'm not going to say it's all that tougher. East teams are going out and winning the West. The top 5 or 6 teams in the East are going out there and winning games in the Western Conference. It's not like maybe 5 years ago when the East was just a wasteland and it was, LeBron and everybody else. The NBA has some parity right now.
Nah,
but the
yeah.
Timberwolves, you got Karl Anthony Towns there, Anthony Edwards, and I'm not saying it's all his fault, but there's D'Angelo Russell there who is
No, I think
Up and down.
Carl. I don't want. He's not a bust, but
No.
he's not living to his potential. He's not where I thought he would be at.
I don't
at this
think that
point.
organization and that team has ever been structured for him to reach his potential.
That
he
too.
can get you all the numbers in the world,
That too.
but like Kevin Love, we're not going to know what he's capable of until he leaves because we don't know if it's him or if it's the organization.
Well, Kev was getting 20 and 20
Yeah, every night. He goes with LeBron.
But they
though. He
couldn't. But they
gets-
couldn't win. But then when
because they wasn't putting nothing around him.
right,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
the
That's what I'm
Timberwolves
saying.
weren't good since
Steph and KG.
no KG, Sam Cassell, and Sprewell when they went to the
forgot.
Western Conference Finals.
yeah. Yep, that was his MVP year.
Yeah.
hmm And they should have beat the Lakers.
Yeah, and
They
that's
should have.
Karl Anthony Towns.
They should have. They should have, bro.
I don't know.
They should have.
I don't think they had enough for the Lakers.
They did.
Devin George was too much.
Next.
Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. But well, I'm gonna say this: Karl Anthony Towns. I'd like to see him go somewhere, and he needs to play next to a really proven veteran. Like if I'm Orlando, I'm getting on the phone and I'm putting him next to Vucevic, right? Or I would just take the chance. Or I'm finding a way to pair him with Bradley Beal in Washington.
If I was Milwaukee, I would find a way to get him.
Here's
That
what I
5
don't
spot
like.
spread. He's a better defender and a better shooter than the 5 that you got right now.
First of all, I think Giannis should be playing the 5, honestly. Because there's no other position he can play that's going to be better than an elite player he's going up against at that position. You put Giannis at the 3, he's not going to be able to outdo consistently the best threes in the league. And he can't do it at the 4, and he damn sure can't do it at the 1 or the 2. He can't be trusted to bring the ball up and handle it and run the offense. He has to play the 5 until his game becomes more refined. That's why I can't take him in Milwaukee. Because Brook Lopez should be coming off the bench.
But if you put Cat at Brook Lopez spot, that now spreads the floor much more and much better than you having him on there. Because now, because right now basketball isn't like how when we came up, where you got your standard point guard, your standard
Right.
2, your 3, and your 4, and your 5. Now it's just positionless. So you could take 4 people that's 6'5" and go out there and just hoop. Houston did it that small ball.
Right.
The size don't matter. It's just the pieces you got. Now, if you had Drew Holiday, you got
Middleton.
Dante
DiVincenzo.
DiVincenzo, Middleton, and you put Big Cat around Giannis. You let Giannis bring the ball up and I wouldn't say I would have him bring it up, but if you had Giannis bring the ball up and say he's running the 1, and you put Drew at the 2, DiVincenzo at the 3,
That's rough.
DiVincenzo's
going to lose a lot. He's going to be in foul trouble a lot.
Nah, you hide him defensively. I'm talking offensively.
But what he's saying is, even though you'll have DiVincenzo at the 3,
offensively,
he's still guarding the 2.
Yeah.
and Giannis is still guarding who he
but
would
other
usually.
teams are going to switch off because everyone switches off in the NBA. You can only hide
Well, you got to
guys
do the
for so
pick and
long.
roll. They're gonna run the pick and
Keeping
roll.
on this Milwaukee thing, do you start PJ Tucker or do you keep Lopez at the 5?
I keep Lopez.
I start PJ Tucker.
I think I'll start PJ.
I start PJ because Giannis needs to be surrounded by shooters.
Yes.
This-
PJ's not a shooter.
In the corner he is.
yeah.
He's
PJ
not a
knocks down
shooter.
that corner in that short
He's not.
corner.
He's not a shooter. But if you keep him in that corner,
Oh, he'll bury it.
Oh yeah,
the
but
big,
so
the,
Cat couldn't do that.
he's Mike
no,
Scott.
no, Cat.
He's Mike Scott
no,
for the Sixers. He can
but
knock it
what
down.
I'm like, Cat could do it. But what I'm saying is, on the team now, Cat's not there now. PJ is.
Oh, so you talk about if based off the pieces you got right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
now,
and then
if-
you bring Lopez off the bench, that give you your scoring option as
yes.
a 5.
Yeah.
Now, if you what you said with Cat, like even though Lopez shoots threes, he's not a 3-point shooter. But
No.
but you gotta respect him out there because he shoots a lot of threes.
He shoots enough.
Cat's way better percentage wise 3-point shooter than
Yes.
Brook.
Exactly.
Here's why I think PJ Tucker makes them a better team, and it's because, all right, Giannis right now, he kind of does the same thing all of the big men do. They pretty much play center field. They just basically play the paint, they patrol the paint, and they are the help defense for everybody else to push the defenders out. And anytime somebody comes through, they get to protect the rim, and it kind of preserves them in foul trouble. They don't get caught out
he's
on
LeBron.
the perimeter a lot.
He's LeBron.
Exactly. But except they
Gonna piss some
stand
people off with that one.
exclusively. Except they stand exclusively like in and around the lane. PJ with Giannis basically playing the 5 on defense and on offense, PJ Tucker is allowed to be a little more aggressive. He gives you a lot more aggression and range on defense because he can guard smaller too on switch offs, and he gives Giannis even less defensive responsibility and also spreads the floor even more on offense. I think PJ Tucker was the best pickup they could have possibly made because they were all out of moves after the Drew Holiday trade.
Yeah.
You know, without getting worse and worrying about next year. I think PJ Tucker, I think that's the move.
I think they did a bad job with getting him pieces.
Yeah, they definitely did.
They did a horrible job with
they're
getting
gonna
him help,
and they're gonna stay that way because after he signed that $200 and something million extension,
which was
in
bad. I
Milwaukee.
mean, it's not bad because he earned that.
yeah,
And I respect him staying.
yeah, I respect.
I
his stand.
respect the hell out
Milwaukee's
of
a
that.
flagship franchise.
Yeah,
but
but you're now
You're strapped.
you're small market. You're not.
Your money is all
Yeah.
on one person.
Got to draft. Got to draft better. The
Gotta.
Spurs. Let's see.
But
I
then
don't-
this is when it comes to that behind the scenes basketball, your
Yeah.
scouts and all that. Your scouts
Right.
got to be on point.
Right, and I'll say this about the Bucks. I know we said they did a bad job, but also Giannis, at the time people started considering him an elite, and at the top of his game, the East got better. The Sixers came to fruition. Look, the Nets popped up. The Celtics got better.
Miami.
He got at his best.
Say that again.
You're a Sixer fan.
Oh, no, I'm not. I like the Sixers.
But and then you got to think he had the Cavs there too with LeBron. At the end of that, when Giannis became the top player, and it was clear he was a franchise player, the level in the East just rose up. So that's where I almost don't fault them or Giannis. There were a couple moves they could have made a little bit better. I think moving off of Chris Middleton sooner probably was a better idea. You could have got something.
You
for
could
him
have
maybe.
definitely got some pieces for him.
Yeah.
But I think they needed to keep Chris though.
Yeah, to keep Giannis.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Because you would have to take a step back.
Because
and
who you gonna
can't
get?
risk that.
Who you gonna get? Because ain't nobody else coming to Milwaukee
No,
No.
because they know
Giannis.
Giannis is gonna have the ball.
his other brother,
He stinks. The brothers stink.
the brother that's in Milwaukee with him, stinks.
They all stink. Like Giannis is the best Antetokounmpo there is.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
All right, we're gonna switch gears. We're gonna talk to the NFL now. All right, we just got breaking news. Joe Flacco signed to the Eagles. When Dave walks in and he heard this, right? And we're gonna get to the NFC East in a minute. This is gonna be an NFC East segment for about 10 minutes, right? When Dave walked in, I said Joe Flacco's gonna take that job.
Yes, he is.
I believe it.
Yes, he is.
I don't want to say Jalen Hurts is gonna fail. I don't want to say Hurts is gonna fail, but I just don't know how good of a passer he is. And now that there's going to be even less talent on that roster, and they're going to be basically just
They starting from
tank
scratch.
team, they're starting from. Eagles fans don't understand the football apocalypse has begun.
No, don't tell them nothing. Let them
Listen,
be miserable.
This is a Cowboys
I've
fan,
been
everyone.
waiting for this my whole life. I'm telling you.
Yo.
They don't understand how miserable they about to be.
But it's the thing. Like we tell Eagles fans that all the time. The truth is right there, but
Yeah.
Eagle fans don't want to. They like listen. We're going to the Super Bowl.
Bro,
Yeah.
you gotta you hear them talk. They be saying we going to the Super Bowl. We got Nick. We got Carson's going to lead us to the promised land. I told them when they drafted that fool, this ain't the quarterback for y'all. I said he don't play nobody.
That's a
Carson
fact.
Wentz literally plays nobody.
What's wild is though, I say because they're hitting so far rock bottom and there's no talent around, you got so many questions on that roster. I don't see Jalen Hurts playing effective football because I just didn't see enough out of college to think he could walk into an awful situation in the NFL of all leagues and lift the team up.
The man got benched at halftime in the national championship game.
This is what I'm saying.
I think that was more political than anything else.
Maybe.
That's what I think personally, because
Or if you look at his stats, he was terrible.
but he played the same way the year before. He literally played the same way the year before.
And didn't they lose?
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost in the chip. They lost in the chip.
Well,
Chip.
and
But
that's my
then,
thing.
why bring him? Why keep him? And then when Tua gets hurt, you throw him back in and he wins.
Right.
And
He can't be that bad if you kept him.
and
But they won because they played Georgia. Georgia
No,
stinks.
Georgia should have beat
Georgia's
them.
always
Georgia
chalk it
was
up.
Georgia was up.
Georgia was up.
Big.
But the state of Georgia and their
Yeah, well,
sports-
They
yeah,
stink.
yeah.
They stink. Georgia
Yeah.
stinks as a sports
As a sports state,
First of all, as a sports
sports-
culture. Yeah, like they're
Braves, it don't matter.
But what I'm gonna say is, at some point in the NFL, Eagles fans, once he starts failing, about week 3,
They're just gonna jump
Week
on the ship
4?
of somebody else.
they're just gonna say, "Can we get competent quarterback play?" And I'm not saying Joe Flacco's good, but he's gonna be able to come in there and run an offense and be able to execute certain plays as a veteran quarterback with a big, strong arm and a pocket guy. He knows what he's doing. There's a certain thing about these veteran quarterbacks, and then you have these wild. Jalen Hurts is a project quarterback, and Eagles fans need to know this. He
Yeah.
is not a guy I didn't think was even a second round prospect, if you ask me. I didn't think he was a second rounder.
No, I didn't. I didn't think he was.
I thought he was maybe a mid third rounder.
fourth.
Early fourth rounder.
To me, for him, it depended on what team grabbed him.
Yeah.
Cause he could have gone depending on if it was Jacksonville. If Jacksonville would have grabbed him,
Yeah.
I was cool with that. You know what I mean?
He starts day one if Jacksonville would have drafted him.
That's what I'm saying. But he's the type of player that needs that field.
But,
To be
but
out
then again,
there.
look how bad Jacksonville was. He doesn't make them any better. They just end up being number 1 draft pick again, and he loses his job to Trevor Lawrence.
I don't think so.
That's probably what happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Jacksonville sucks.
Because you gotta give him some kind of credit for the athlete he is. Because for what he did against the Saints, who was a top NFC team at that time, and he goes out there and does his thing against them.
But with the Saints,
No film was on him.
and there was no film
I know
on him.
that also plays a part
and
in
that's
it.
what I told everybody. There was no film on him. And also, I believe Drew Brees
Still
wasn't
really
playing.
no film on him now.
Drew Brees wasn't playing. It was Taysom Hill, and the Saints went for several risks late in the game on 3rd and 4th down
Yeah.
that gave Jalen Hurts an opportunity to win
opportunity.
that game. And then they blew some really bad assignments on defense. It was just a bad game for Sean Payton as a coach because his arrogance, in my opinion, he thought that that's all he needed was we're just going to roll that ball out on the field and do what we want with the Eagles.
Well, shit.
They'll give
They
us the
didn't
game.
have nobody, and they had a backup rookie quarterback in.
Yeah.
I probably would have did the same thing.
3-14 for the Eagles.
Yeah, 17
3
games.
and 14.
The 17 games this year. Yep.
3?
3 and 14. You know what? I say 2 and 15.
No. You mean 2 and 14?
No.
it's gonna be 17.
It's going to be
games.
17 this
Yeah,
year.
17 games this year. That's
Oh,
what
we
they're
get an
talking
extra
about.
week.
Yeah, extra
We don't
week
play
of
y'all
football.
3 times, do we?
I don't know. No.
Is
I don't
there-
know.
do we play y'all opening night?
I-
Cause I'm sick of that.
the schedule is out, but there's no dates.
I'm sick of that.
Over under on the amount of games it's going to take before Eagles fans start calling for Jalen Hurts to get benched.
3.
2.
2, 3. I say 3.
Depending on who they play.
3.5.
Depending
I'll
on-
go 3.5.
Depending on who they play in those first 2. Because if they come out there and they're playing like Tampa Bay,
Eagles are by far the worst team in the NFC
I
East.
promise
Oh,
you,
easily.
one of the games is
Easily.
going to be against Washington, and they're going to.
Oh, Washington's gonna smoke 'em.
Yes, Chase Young is going to have about 6 sacks. He's
it ain't
look
gonna be.
like Derek
And the crazy
Thomas.
thing is, it ain't gonna be Chase. It's gonna be Sweat
Yeah.
And the other ones,
Robinson.
right? Yeah, though he's gonna be the one because they're gonna be so worried
No,
about
Payne.
Payne.
That's his name. Payne.
They're gonna be so worried about Chase.
Yeah.
They're gonna send 2 to 3 his side, and there's gonna everything else is gonna be wide open.
And then it's also a first-year coach that's unproven, no playbook. Flacco's gonna have to come in there and play. He's just gonna have to come in there and make it happen, man. That's what's gonna have
That's
to
the
happen.
only thing that would save. That's the only way that would save Hurts' career.
I think this is the year the Eagles finally get rid of their GM too. I think it's gonna get so
Jeff
bad.
Lurie, you think he's gone?
No,
No.
that's the owner.
No.
Who's
the
Howie?
GM?
Howie Roseman.
Oh, Howie Roseman.
Yeah.
I thought he was
Jeff
gone.
Lurie's gonna have to fire Howie Roseman because,
No,
They-
Jeff Lurie is the one that need to go.
well, ownership. Well,
Jeff Lurie is the one that needs to go.
if you look at the Eagles' entire history,
He's just as
What, hit him
bad
with
as
the Donald
Jerry.
Sterling?
Yeah.
He's just as bad as Jerry.
no, because
Bro, you saw what he did to, and I hate the
you're
Eagles.
a Cowboys
Everybody,
fan, and I
listen-
think there's a little bias here.
no,
That's out of pocket.
Listen. I'm gonna tell you
All right.
why. And he know this. I hate the Eagles with a passion.
Okay.
But what they did to B-Dog, because what's the name? The GM wasn't there then.
Yeah.
So it's not the GM.
Mm-hmm.
It's the owner. What they did to B-Dog, how they did McNabb, even though he wasn't as good, but for what he did for that team, they should have gave him a little bit more love than what they did and let him go to Washington.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm
No,
saying?
he was
yeah.
Oh,
The-
McNabb. Yeah.
You know what I
B-Dog
mean?
went to Denver.
B-Dog went to Denver. You don't send somebody like B-Dog off. That's like y'all getting with like Michael Strahan when y'all was in y'all and then y'all just ship him off. Y'all don't do that.
No, we don't never do
Here's
that.
what I'm gonna say. And
When they did that, I was done with them.
Jeffrey Lurie as an owner, I remember the Eagles owner before him, Norman Brayman. The highlight of that was either Jaworski's one appearance in the Super Bowl against the Raiders in 1981 or 80 or whatever.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Early 80s.
And then it was that defense they had under Buddy Ryan where they never got Randall Cunningham any weapons. Jeffrey
Never.
Lurie buys the team. They've gone to 2 Super Bowls and they've won countless division titles in the NFC East.
Don't mean nothing.
They've been arguably the most prolific team in the NFC East. Arguably. Only reason I put the Giants ahead of the Cowboys over the last 25 years is
yeah.
because they're undefeated in the Super Bowl. They just don't get there a lot.
They just beat
You know, and when they're down for the count.
Hey, Tom's kryptonite.
Yeah.
Pisses me off.
And I'm glad you're here as a diehard Cowboys fans. Cowboys Nation, stand up.
Absolutely.
Today,
Stand
I
up.
wanted to say something to you, and I wanted you to be here. The Giants are now my lock for the NFC East crown.
Absolutely not.
Kenny Galladay, they just signed the corner.
You still have Daniel Jones at quarterback.
Dory Jackson.
Adoree Jackson.
You still have Daniel Jones as quarterback.
I believe in Daniel Jones.
You still have
I
He
believe
don't
in
even
Daniel
believe
Jones.
in Daniel Jones.
Listen, I believe in him.
He don't.
Listen,
He's the Giants fan.
Now that they have Galladay and they made some other key
Shit empty, huh?
signings on that team,
I don't see it, bro.
all right, man.
And I'm not saying it because I'm a Cowboys fan. And like me and Dave have these conversations where, you know, me and him keep it real as far as
Yeah.
the conference go. It's a 2-team race.
Yes.
It's a 2-team race.
Yes.
I put us above everybody else because we're keeping all our pieces. All our key pieces, rather.
But
You feel
who's
what I'm
going
saying?
to play defense?
Oh, well, we ain't had that
I
last
got-
year. But we definitely going to be better than what we were last year.
I got
we
the
bringing
Cowboy-
in better pieces defensively that hopefully fit Dan Quinn's scheme.
You
Like we
guys
brought
gotta-
in Neal, the safety from Atlanta.
You guys
Coming
got,
off Achilles
Yeah.
Achilles injury.
I know, but it's better than any safety we had in the last 20
And he
years.
can't cover.
But so couldn't Roy
You know what they really brought Keanu Neal in for?
to knock people to put him at linebacker.
Yeah, because they don't believe in Jalen Smith anymore.
Jalen,
So so Neal, believe it or not, is gonna play a lot of
Jalen. He gonna play a lot of outside.
yes.
But then that'll put Jalen back in the middle and let him roam.
No, Van Dash is gonna still be the middle.
We had 2 in the middle.
Y'all play
'Cause
3-4.
We played 3-4. Now unless we go 4-3,
I
then
got
it's gonna change.
I got the Cowboys winning the division.
We definitely winning the division.
It pains me to say that.
No, it doesn't. It's the
Oh,
truth.
well, why don't you believe in your New York Giants?
Too many new
No,
pieces.
I believe I always believe in my
It's
Giants.
17 games to get it right.
But Daniel Jones,
I believe in
listen. We signed Kenny Galladay.
Yeah,
We signed Kyle Rudolph.
right.
We gave him Saquon's coming back. we gave him weapons. If he doesn't turn the corner with these weapons,
It's time to look elsewhere.
the NFL is not the job for you.
I would.
Yeah.
And
I mean, he'll be around somewhere.
He'll be around,
because
but
the tools are there.
if you got these weapons, and if we just fine tune the offensive line, like the offensive line played good later on in the season. If we could
Definitely.
just fine tune the offensive line and with the weapons he got, if he can't stop turning the ball over, then this job is not for you.
Yeah.
Then we got to look elsewhere.
And I want you to know, I'm the Dak Prescott believer of believers. I think the guy is a future great quarterback, possible Hall of Famer. The floor for Dak Prescott's career in total for me is Phillip Rivers, who is probably going to make the Hall of Fame, but
He's
I
definitely
think that's
making the
the
Hall of Fame.
floor. I think Dak Prescott's going to be competitive for a long time. But if you ask me, if I have to add up the totality of what a team can do on both sides of the ball, I think the Giants are more ready to be a balanced football team. On
Giants
both
have
sides
a
of the
better
ball.
Giants have a better defense. We have a
Much
better
better
offense.
defense.
We have a much better offense.
Because your quarterback is better.
That is the difference.
Yeah.
But-
But we also have a much better receiving core. Much better receiving core.
What's up with Ezekiel Elliott? Though?
I'm not gonna say
He
much.
played like shit.
I'm not gonna
last
say much better, but it's better.
Is
Who's
it-
better than Amari Cooper on your team?
Galladay now.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
He is not.
Amari Cooper's not really good.
Are you crazy?
Here we go.
He's not
Are you
really
Dang.
good.
No.
Game.
So I'll put it to you this
NFC
way,
East, B.
because this is where me and you keep it real with this. Amari Cooper against top corners
Doesn't do anything.
doesn't do a damn thing. But that ain't every week. Galladay ain't doing that every week against every corner. If that was the case, he would have been the man in Detroit.
Well, he was hurt.
He was the man in Detroit. He was just hurt last
Because
year.
Yeah, he just
there
got
was
hurt.
nobody else to throw to.
But we have other people to throw to.
Who?
Now you get Slayton on the second corner. So now you gotta. All right, Slayton's gonna get the second and third corner.
Okay.
Second and third gonna be gotta go with Sterling Shepard in the slot. Even though I don't
Sterling Shepard, that's who is probably your best receiver.
right, but he's too small to be on the outside.
So he'll be in the slot.
So yes, he'll be in the slot. So even though I don't like Evan Ingram, he's gonna be better because of Kyle Rudolph.
He can't catch. That's where I think y'all are going to be better at. He should be the starting tight end. I love Kyle Rudolph.
Yo, he's super dependent.
I love Kyle
I
Rudolph.
wanted him in Buffalo.
I wanted him in Dallas.
Yeah.
I love Kyle
and
Rudolph.
I think he's gonna push Evan Ingram to be better because
he has to, because if he don't, he going to lose his spot.
right. But I'm in favor of drafting Kyle Pitts and trading Evan Ingram.
That's my man cousin too. For
I don't
real,
care
for
who
real.
cousin he is.
I
who
told him to
brother
come to
he
Dallas.
is.
I told him to come to Dallas.
If we draft him at 11, I'm in favor of trading Evan Ingram.
Oh,
we could
yeah,
get a
absolutely.
bag of Cheetos
Absolutely.
for Evan
Because
Ingram
you
for all I
already,
care.
but you could do that only because you got what's his name now,
right.
Kyle Rudolph, because he's guaranteed he's catching the ball.
The only like I said, I got the Cowboys winning the division probably by
definitely-
like a game.
Yeah.
It's gonna be close.
I think with the extra playoff spot, I think we'll probably still get in. The only way I see us overtaking the Cowboys in the division is like if we somehow beat them one game,
Yeah.
is because their defense bad. Going off of last year, we could
I
score
don't see it happening.
and they can't stop the run. So if Saquon can come back and you can't if like you
Now
can't
with
load
the-
the box on Saquon
No,
anymore.
you can't. Yeah, no. Especially not.
You
It
can't.
depends on what we do
And Daniel
on
Jones
defense,
has
especially with the
mobility.
corners.
But Daniel Jones has the mobility and the ability to deliver on the move. He has it. He has it. I can see the bootleg really
Right.
giving
My
teams
thing-
problems.
Well,
this
and that's
year.
only because of the threat
Yes.
of Saquon.
Yeah.
It's not because if that was the case, it would have worked last year
It worked. It worked to some
to a degree
last year.
because you had Devontae. It really worked
Yeah.
when you had Devontae Freeman
Yeah.
back there. But any other running backs before then, it wasn't working like that.
But now I think it'll work more with him running the ball because Saquon is back,
Mm-hmm.
and we got a number one type receiver.
It's yet to be seen.
No, he is a number one. He was a number one in Detroit. He's a Pro Bowler.
There's
Here's what I'm
Again-
gonna say.
Before last year he got hurt, he had 2,000-yard
No,
receivers
no, no.
seasons.
I get that, but when you're the only option, you're the only option. Now, when you go to a system where if you got a number 2 that's a solid number 2 and you're still putting up those type numbers, then all right, I can see you legit. But they didn't have a number 2 in Detroit.
No.
So you had to throw him the ball. He had to, and most of the passes he caught was jump balls,
Yeah, that's the type of receiver he is.
which is cool. But
There's
that
nothing wrong with
necessarily
a
no.
jump ball
There's
receiver.
nothing wrong with that. But does that necessarily make you a number 1
Yes, when you're the best receiver that we have.
on your
Yeah,
team?
exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
but I'm talking about in New York. You're looking at him as a number 1. That doesn't necessarily mean he's a number
you
1.
know what this Galladay
he could
signing?
be a solid number 2 that you have to put at
Okay.
at number 1.
NFC East. Which divisions are y'all playing this year?
We play the
AFC
AFC West
Okay.
I thought it
and
was
the NFC South.
AFC
knew one of them
West
was South.
and NFC South. How many games do you think the Cowboys win this year, knowing that that's your division matchup? And it's a 17-game season.
I say in this season we probably get 9,
So 9 and 8.
10 at the most.
Okay, so 10 and 7. What are you looking at?
I say we getting 10 wins.
You think y'all get 10?
Yeah.
Like I said, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be a tight run.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a tight run.
Washington, if they don't like truly address their quarterback situation, they sign Ryan Fitzpatrick. It's gonna make them more competitive, but not over
He
the
ain't
hump
the-
with
he
what
ain't
the
the
Giants
piece.
and the Cowboys have.
I'm
Yeah.
counting
He's not what they need.
I'm counting 4 wins from the Eagles in Washington for us.
I think Washington will get 6 to 7.
Because it don't matter what quarterback Washington has. For some reason, they just can't beat us. Like Daniel Jones in his career is undefeated against Washington.
That's crazy. That's the stat of the night.
Like for some reason, they cannot beat us. We'll
Yeah.
we'll get swept by the Eagles. We'll get swept by the Cowboys, but sweep Washington.
I don't understand it. Well, I don't really understand our division.
And my thing this past season was I said coming into the season I said the Giants gonna get 5 wins. We wound up getting 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said we're gonna get Washington twice, which we
said
got
that.
them twice.
He said he was praying.
I said I want to get 1 from the Eagles or in Cowboys. I need 1 from each.
He was praying.
And then I was like, we'll get something from somewhere else. We wound up getting 6 wins, and
Stole one from us.
should have swept Dallas.
Yeah.
Should have swept Philly.
Yeah, you should have swept them.
Well, you're gonna sweep Philly this year.
Yeah,
Everyone's gonna beat.
we
Philly.
should have swept Dallas when that got hurt. There was no way
Yeah, that was
this
fucked.
guy was supposed to come in and beat us.
That
I
was
don't-
messed up.
I don't know
man.
if I can drive the point home anymore. Philly, y'all gotta watch this for 17 weeks this year,
Yeah, yeah.
plus a bye.
And they
So
talking
that
about
means-
bringing Nick back.
I'm gonna love this.
Oh, I heard about the Nick Foles rumor.
If they bring him back,
Oh my
oh
god.
my god, bro.
I'm gonna love watching
It's-
these Eagle fans.
But it's ownership,
Hang
man.
yourself.
It's ownership.
Ownership and
And-
this GM.
Yeah.
Ownership has to separate from this GM. So yes, you're right in that respect. But Jeffrey Lurie is the most prolific owner and probably turned that franchise around the most historically in that division. Daniel
Yeah, but he
Snyder
also made some
is the
bad
worst
ones.
owner in that division. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? By far.
Absolutely.
Jerry Jones, he
No,
has his
nah.
faults. He has his faults. And
Jerry might be the worst.
he's up there.
Jerry might be the
he's
worst.
up
I think
there.
Snyder worse than
Snyder,
Yeah,
Snyder
Snyder's
is
the
just he's just dirty with it. Jerry is just don't give a.
he don't.
He just ignorant to everything going. Like you don't sign Zeke for 90 something million, knowing you got to pay your quarterback. You don't do that.
Did you give DeMarcus Lawrence $100 million knowing you got to?
You know, and he's
Yeah.
still the highest paid player on the team.
you don't
DeMarcus
give
Lawrence.
You don't give Amari $20 million a year knowing you got to
I,
pay.
Dak-
I didn't agree. The
Dak
Amari
not even
contract was
not
probably the
Dak
worst.
not even the highest paid
No,
player
it's
on the
DeMarcus
team.
Lawrence.
DeMarcus Lawrence is the highest paid player.
Yeah.
Like you don't like that. It don't even make sense because when you really think about it, if you take that 90 million you gave Zeke, you give that to Dak, we're straight.
Yeah,
Yeah. And you
2-3
can-
years ago, that 90 million
and
we're
you can
solid.
draft your needs.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, I could go out and get the guys
Now
that I
I
actually
could,
need.
and then and you already know how I felt about this, and this is probably gonna make people feel some type of way. I don't give a damn, but I wanted Jalen Ramsey over Zeke.
a lot of people did.
That's who I wanted because you secure the defense. You could find a running back just to get you a few yards to make it even offensively.
You could find a running back in the later rounds
Yeah.
that could produce. Like when we drafted Saquon at 2, I would have been perfectly fine if we would have went in another direction and then went and got Nick Chubb in the second round.
Yeah.
I'd have been cool with
Yeah,
either,
because
either one.
he waited. He lasted until
Yes.
like the second round.
I
Yeah,
would have been cool with either one.
because he was fresh off of what injury, right?
Yeah.
His knee.
So it's gonna be a good
Yeah,
battle.
I'm gonna be watching the NFC East. It's always like the ghetto of the NFL.
It is.
Yeah, like
Yeah, that's how
NFC
you
East
feel?
is the bad neighborhood, man. It really is. It really
It's
is. It's the AFC
you
East
can't
a lot
walk.
of times,
You
too.
can't walk in the NFC East and think you gonna get a win.
You know, it's the bad weather division of the NFL. Like the
It
game,
is.
like
It damn
NFC
sure
North
is.
Except
and
for
AFC
Dallas.
North.
Nah,
they,
it's cold.
It get. I know it get cold in Dallas, but not like
Yeah,
a
not
Philly
like that.
and the Giants and
Nah,
Redskins
bro.
game.
I went
feel
to.
like AFC and NFC North. They have like snow showers. They might have some snow games. But NFC East, it could be windy and rain. It could be sunny. It could be thunderstorms. It could be anything.
That's
and
a
it's
fact.
like that in the AFC East too. We go down to Miami, lightning is striking the field. You go to the Meadowlands, it's windy and freezing. You go up to Buffalo, it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you go to Foxborough, it's extra cold.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, it's just something about East Coast football I'll always love, man.
You
I'll
gotta
always
be.
love.
You gotta really play in that kind of weather, man. The ones that really love the sport, you
Yeah.
go. You know what I
You
mean?
gotta be willing to get out there and get it. But yo, what are the chances on a scale of 1 to 10? What are the chances of you seeing Deshaun Watson suspended for? And how many games do you think with everything
For
that's
what everything
going
going on,
Yeah, he's up to 16 allegations.
He's gonna get suspended.
he's gonna. He might get the year, man.
16
and
allegations.
And
is
if
the
it
year.
all comes out to be true, he gonna get the Ray Rice treatment. It's gonna be over.
Yeah.
Like 16.
The only way I say it's gonna be like the Ray Rice treatment, like there was video of Ray Rice putting
Yeah.
hands on his lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
Like-
16.
I get it, but
NFL can't just sneeze at that.
no. They're not gonna sneeze at it, but there's no video. We don't know.
No, yeah.
We don't know.
As of now.
And I'm kind of like, even though that's a lot, like 16 is a lot,
That ain't no mistake.
but it's the Me Too movement right now.
Yeah.
How many of those are legit?
You'll never know until the time.
How
to
many
find
how
out.
many of those were like, oh,
I-
maybe if I say he did that to me, they're gonna believe it.
Well, that's a thing that happens a
and
lot.
then and then
Yeah.
I'm hearing the lawyer that's representing all of these women,
Playing games.
he's friends with the Houston Texans owner.
I've seen that on social media.
I think like the timing of this is shaky to me.
I want to trade. Oh, you got some chicks saying you did
First
this.
of all, I want to trade after I've gotten $80 million guaranteed up front of my 4-year, $160 million contract. That is where I want people to just take a look. What we're saying, we'd probably get killed. And I know there may be somebody listening like, oh, you can't say that about allegations. You're supposed to just give everybody the benefit of the doubt. But you're also supposed to let the process play out.
Yep. Can't
And
judge nobody.
And as black men, we understand what it's like when we declare our independence and decide to exercise our leverage against billionaire owners or just billionaires or just wealthy and powerful people in general. Things start to happen. Life has been hard. This is a guy who's never been in trouble.
Nope.
He has no trouble in high school.
Nope.
No trouble in college.
Nope.
No trouble in the pros.
He's building houses for families.
Where?
Houston Texans organization, DeAndre Hopkins speaks out against what the owner said, the late owner says, right?
And the coach.
Yeah, and the coach. He gets traded. Owner dies, coach fired. Deshaun Watson stays. Things get bad after he signs an extension. Then he wants a trade, and now he's vilified.
Yeah.
And then there's the mass exodus of just players in general. We're talking J.J. Watt wanted out. You're seeing all the former Texans, the great Texans, Andre Johnson,
There's something
Arian
not
Foster coming out, talking about that organization. And this is something we're saying it because we don't have the reach that a lot of the major guys saying. And it's risky to say that if you're up here
Yeah.
in sports media.
Yep.
We're at the bottom level, so we're going to keep it real. This doesn't seem right at all.
Nah, it don't. Something seems off, especially with the lawyer being friends with the owner. It's just, and even like the little stories that I'm hearing when I watch the news or whatever, Sports Center is like it's every day he's finding somebody else.
Right.
Every day it's, oh, by the way, I got this
person
person
in Atlanta,
saying,
this person in LA.
yeah, you know what I mean?
He wants to the lawyer for the accused. I mean, for the alleged victims. He wants to try this case
In
the-
public opinion.
In public
No,
opinion.
he wanted
in
a
the
settlement.
court of public
Right. He
He
opinion.
wanted a settlement first. Deshaun said, no,
Right.
I'm not settling.
But he was going to IG and leaking all of this stuff.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he wants everything to be out in the open.
Right. And I heard this yesterday that there was an African American female that says she's given Deshaun Watson massages multiple times and he's not once made a pass at her.
But, and this is playing devil's advocate, you don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know.
You really
never
don't know.
You don't know.
You really don't know. I would love to sit here and say that he's completely innocent, but I can't
Yeah,
say that.
but you don't. But we
Yeah,
don't
you
know.
want to believe the best about him because he does a lot for the community.
Yeah.
He's the guy that gave a game check to a lunch lady that was struggling.
Yeah.
He's a dude that really, goes out of his way to be a good guy. But we all know if he leaves Houston,
Houston's done.
Yeah, that
Yeah, they're
franchise loses a lot of money,
Would-
and it's a tough time for
Would you
owners right now.
would you still trade for him?
I gotta wait and see what the penalty is. The NFL is going to have to adjourn this, and I think it's going to benefit the NFL to get this taken care of before camp starts, so
They
other
have to.
teams can make their decision. If he's gone 4 to 6 games, you can have a franchise theoretically looking at him. If I'm Miami, buy Tua. You know what I mean? You're out of here. 4 to 6. I'll take 4 to 6 games of
Knowing I'm gonna have him for 5 years.
Exactly.
Yep.
Knowing I'm gonna have him under contract and playing here, and he could come to Miami. We're often we're kind of like out of the mainstream spotlight, and I can build around him.
If I'm San Francisco, bye Jimmy G.
Oh yeah, bye Jimmy G. See you later. I'll wait 6 games. I'll go 2-4. I'll go 1-5. I'll run the ball for 5 weeks and wait for Deshaun Watson because this is like Kawhi Leonard. No, in the NBA, who would this be like coming in free agency? Who could we compare this to? This would be like Mike Trout in baseball just coming free. Like, yo, what? How did he get out here? What? Oh, yo, here you go. 3 starting pitchers. You know what I'm saying? Because he's going to put people in the seats. He's going to sell merchandise, and he's box office.
That would
So-
be like a job of rent leaving Memphis.
Out of nowhere. Just
Yeah.
like one day, everybody's sitting around. He's like, yo, I went out. It's
Yeah,
just
that would
like-
hurt. That would hurt. That would definitely hurt.
But yeah, and here's another thing about the case that disturbs me because I read the details and they're disturbing. Like we know, like creeps and perverts exist and all that.
Absolutely.
But the fact that there's 16 civil cases and not one criminal case, they didn't even
Speaks.
report it to the police yet.
No.
Yep.
I said, if this dude is 16 women, if he's going around the country and doing this, that means he's a sexual predator. And y'all need to go to the Houston police. The lawyer says early last week, oh, we're packing this up and we're going to prepare a packet to take to the cops. As of today, they still haven't received anything from this lawyer. I'm waiting until I gather more. We're still going through it. To go to the cops, you only need one.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, what would
To
you
start
need?
the process.
25, 32?
To start the
No.
process, you need one.
Exactly. You got, that's all you need. One is to start the process,
This-
and then, bring them in as you go. But they don't have anything to bring them to police.
This smells like a money grab.
It definitely smells like a
Or
money
to
grab.
keep him in Houston.
Or to
Yeah.
keep him in Houston.
And you know what? What's
Because
sad?
I doubt if he never come out and say I want to get traded, I doubt none of this surfaces.
And
This
or-
ain't happened in the last 2 months.
No.
He ain't do all this in
And
2 months.
organizations do jobs of cleaning up things for guys in the off season because a lot
Oh,
of things
absolutely.
happen in the NFL during the off season. I just remember Buffalo with Zay Jones. He was butt naked in the hotel. He was trying to jump out the window. His arms were bleeding because he tried to punch glass out, and he said he was fighting for Jesus. Next thing you know, that story goes away. Zay Jones quietly gets traded to Oakland, and he's never, the following year, he's never
He's
heard from
gone.
him again.
He just re-signed with Oakland.
Yeah,
with
but,
Vegas.
But it's how they clean up certain things. The NFL, they had like these owners, they have investigators and they have people in place to make things go away or to mitigate, the impact of these stories.
Yeah. They always
we-
got to have them around.
We're all looking at this with a suspicious eye. We don't know Deshaun Watson personally, but it's just wild that this is somebody who's never been in any trouble. And he doesn't display any sort of wild tendencies or nothing. We never heard about him. It's
No,
just,
you haven't. It's usually the ones that you never hear nothing about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you never heard nothing about Deshaun. Now all of a sudden, boom, boom, and it's not just one. Started out as one, then it went to 2. There's
Right.
4. Then 8. Now it's 16. You can't. Even if I highly doubt that it's all 16. But even if it's 1 or 2,
Yeah, that's bad enough.
that's horrible.
That's horrible, and you need to be suspended.
Yeah, you got to go.
Yeah.
If you did it, you got to go.
But I do have a problem with the NFL suspending guys over civil cases.
I think they should mind their business.
Exactly. This is about it's a
If
money
the
issue. At
if
that
the
point.
police ain't involved, mind your business.
Exactly.
Now, if they go to the cops and then they start involving the police and the whole
Criminal
charges
yeah.
and all that come in,
Conduct detrimental. You know, you can
Now-
play that card.
now
Like
we
Antonio
jump in.
Brown. He had those same charges.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
NFL is tricky though, like because even if, let's say they do go to the police,
Yeah.
and then it comes out that everything was false and he's acquitted of everything, he's still gonna get suspended because the police was involved. That's
Right.
one thing
Yeah.
I don't like about the NFL. Like they could be called like Reuben Foster.
yeah,
They used to play for the
got,
49ers.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
got
yeah.
cleared.
His girlfriend made up this whole lie because he didn't want to be with her anymore.
And she confessed to lying.
And
too.
then she confessed the lie, but he still got suspended because the police were called.
Yeah, and
Which
Ray
is bogus
Rice-
to me.
Ray Rice did win a lawsuit when they suspended him, and he eventually got blackballed because his lawsuit was basically like, "How y'all gonna suspend me when I told y'all what happened, and y'all only suspended me after the video came out? Y'all knew about it 3 or 4 months, and y'all had the video."
Right.
Yeah, a lot of people don't remember Ray Rice got paid because he lost a lot of wages not being able to get another job at NFL
Mm-hmm.
at the end of his career. So that's one of the things where it's
Which
tricky.
was still the beginning of his career.
But Deshaun Watson's so high profile right now. He's one of the faces of the NFL. I can't. This is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Never
It is.
has somebody in their prime gone through this and been a top player. And
Not of his
especially a quarterback.
magnitude. Not of his
this
magnitude, nah.
Yeah, this is big. This is big. So what's up, fellas? That was a good show. Any last words, man?
Hold on, we ain't talk about this Draymond situation.
Oh,
what
let's get
what's the
to it.
question?
Let's get to
Draymond
it.
Green said he was the best defender to ever play in the NBA.
He must not have seen Dennis Rodman play.
He must not have seen Scottie
Scottie
Pippen.
Pippen.
He must
Joe
not have seen
Dumars.
Michael Jordan. He
Yeah.
must not have seen Hakeem Olajuwon.
Yo, forgive me for glossing over this bullshit, but go ahead.
He must not have seen Bill Russell.
Shit. Who else we got? Shit. I mean, what's my man played for the Kings? He played for. Damn, I can't remember his name. Christie.
Doug
Christie. He
Doug
must.
Christie was strapping.
There was a lot of defensive guy. People don't like this.
I
is
mean,
what
Charles Oakley
Charles Oakley,
at his position.
He was
power
strapping.
forwards that played defense.
Ben
KG,
Wallace.
KG.
First of
Ben
all-
Wallace.
Every time Draymond says he's great at something,
Joe Kim.
you know the name I bring up? Charles Barkley. That says it all. Charles Barkley was an elite shot blocker at 6'4", playing his position. 6'4", 6'5".
Hell, D Wade's a better shot blocker than Draymond Green.
D Wade is a better defender than Draymond.
This is my problem with Draymond Green, and this is my problem with the media. No one's calling him to carpet for the shit he says. And it's like, look, we like for guys to have confidence and brag a little bit
I think
because
that's
they
what it
did
is.
win. He put in the work to do what his team needed to do. But at the end of the day, if Sean Livingston starts coming out and saying he's one of the greatest champions to ever live, does he get away with that?
No.
Because he had just as much as impact as helping that team win as him. If Andre Iguodala comes out and says, I'm one of the greatest small forwards to ever play the game, does the media give him that pass?
That
No,
that
they're
Finals
gonna kill
MVP,
him.
what might
And Iguodala has
Very
more-
undeserving.
that it is, but he still got it.
You're right.
Iguodala has more of a case to say that.
Yes,
I don't know if people remember. I know y'all do, but people out there, the 73-win Warriors team. Harrison Barnes did a lot for that team.
Black Falcon.
Harrison Barnes was the glue. Draymond was not the glue. When I look at the glue,
well, I think Draymond was a part of it as far as
the game
effect
is
that him
played
and
on
Harrison
the wings.
had.
It's played on the wings. I'm looking at Iguodala, Harrison Barnes, the guys that are defending and giving it back on the wings,
Okay.
where the top players are that can kill you. That is what I'm saying. Like, I just have a problem with Draymond Green in this
What
Hall of
position
Fame.
is he technically? The 4, right?
Yes.
He's a tweener.
Yeah, he is a tweener.
He's a tweener.
He's definitely a tweener. So who is he really guarding at the 4? None of the major stars are a 4.
No.
Well, like we said earlier,
So but
there's
he's
no
not-
position.
But he's not getting. But when you're playing Milwaukee, he ain't guarding Giannis.
He
Well, you're-
is.
He ain't.
He is. He is.
Again, and what is Giannis doing to him?
He's guarding him.
I've
That's
never
not guarding
seen-
him.
I've never seen.
He's in front of him.
It ain't
He's
guarding
near him.
I've never
He's
seen.
close.
I've never seen Draymond bottle up a true scoring power forward.
That's what I'm saying.
Because there's not that many out there.
'Cause
No.
he
There's
ain't.
just not.
He ain't even still. If you want to go to the older caliber player, he ain't doing nothing with Melo.
First of all, he's not. He wasn't doing nothing with LaMarcus Aldridge a few years ago.
It ain't too many people that can do anything. with
Exactly. Like, I just don't like. This has to stop with Draymond Green. I get it. He's a champion. He's the tough guy of the group. He is a major contributor. I get it in that system, but he's been completely made by the Golden State Warriors.
Yes. Steph and Clay made him, and then KD made him
Exactly.
because
I think he was doing his thing though.
right.
He was.
Let's before KD get there. Let's talk about the 73.
I think he
Warriors.
was. I honestly think he was the glue on that.
The 73 win Warriors.
Draymond became Draymond because Steph and Clay allowed him to beat a point, and you get us the ball.
Yeah.
So he was able to knock down shots because people they were sagging off of him. So he could get you a 10, and 10 triple-double.
Yep.
Because I'm going to go get me some rebounds because there's no bigs, so I'm going to go get a rebound.
Yeah.
Draymond wouldn't be getting no 9, 10 rebounds if he played in the 90s because the 90s were dominantly big men.
No, he wouldn't have.
So he could get rebounds just like
Over somebody that's his height.
with Russ in his triple-double. Like, there's no bigs to stop you from getting rebounds. And then the big that you had on your team, Steven Adams, was moving out the way so you can get the rebound. But it's still hard to average a triple-double. But when you don't have true bigs that's really knocking you out the way. Back in the 80s and 90s, them bigs got paid to get rebounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not
That was
getting
their job.
this rebound.
Look at Rodman. That
Right.
was his
You're
Dell
job.
not
Davis,
getting this rebound.
Antonio Davis.
Yeah, the Davis
Yeah.
brothers.
Now it's positionless basketball, so everybody's around the 3-point line, so it's easy for a little guard to go in there and get
Plus
a
they're
rebound.
shooting. Plus it's a whole lot more shot
Right.
attempts compared to.
So
back.
it's easy for
It's damn near double when you think about
and
it.
then look at like the NBA. They changed the reset of the shot clock from 24
To
to
14.
14 because they didn't want no 79-79 overtime game.
Speed the game up.
Because if I miss a shot back then, like we get the offensive rebound, I could bleed this thing for another 24.
Right.
The NBA don't want that. It's all about scoring. Scoring is gonna put asses in the seats.
Yep, money in their pockets.
So
Nobody want to see defense.
no. So
for real
for
basketball fans.
Draymond to come out there and say he's the greatest,
He's smoking
like
that shit.
there was a guy named Dennis Rodman that played for the Bad Boy Pistons. I remember this dude guarding Michael Jordan, and
Scotty.
then when he seen Scotty going off, he go over there and get Scotty and take him out the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's nobody else can go guard both of them in one game at the same time. No.
I give Draymond credit for this. He does have basketball IQ and it's high because right now he's just quarterbacking that Warriors team.
Yes.
But make no mistake about it. They're not a good defensive team at all. They're terrible. He doesn't cover up your mistakes.
Nah, that's why you brought Wiseman in.
Yeah.
Exactly. A true great defensive player is Joel Embiid. There's not a whole lot. He's never played with a lot of great individual defensive players. At different times, he's had Robert Covington. He's got Ben Simmons now, but Ben Simmons just became, in the last 6 months, this defensive player
And then
that
they got-
everyone loves.
And then they got Danny Green.
But those are the guys that cover your mistakes. And then you see it in the stats of the team. If I'm this great defender, our defensive rating is going to be through the roof. I guarantee you, without even looking at it, Golden State's ratings are bottom 5 or bottom 7.
Prime example. That's why when we started this show talking about Carlos Boozer,
Yeah,
we was able to hire him because we had Joakim Noah.
yeah,
Noah was the quarterback of my defense. So we would have Boozer on Joe Schmo over there, knowing that if he beats me, Noah's standing right here.
yeah.
Yep.
And then we could just rotate around that.
Exactly.
And he'll clean the glass and
Right.
get it moving.
Boston with KG. People talk about how good of a defender Kendrick Perkins was.
It was
That's
KG.
because it was KG. KG would go say, "Yo, you go get Gasol, and then I know Gasol's gonna beat you, so I'm gonna come over for the weak side block."
And honestly, when you talk about defensive rebounding, Tristan Thompson was cleaning up the offensive glass against Draymond in both of those final series.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he ended it with slapping him in the face with the basketball, and Draymond did nothing. But that's another whole nother story, whole nother topic. What I'm saying is I'm tired of Draymond. I got one name you can always say when Draymond says he's great at something. Say Charles Barkley. In what area are you better than Charles Barkley?
Oh, no.
Not shooting, not dribbling, not defense, not rebounding, like not
He
carrying
couldn't
the
do
team, and
nothing
not
with Chuck.
impact.
He couldn't do nothing with Chuck.
Only thing that I will give him the edge over Chuck is passing.
No.
No, I'm gonna say no.
Charles
Chuck
didn't
used to
want.
run the break.
Charles didn't have to.
Right. But Draymond's a willing passer because that's the only thing
So
he
was
can
Charles.
do.
Look at Phoenix.
Let's put up
Right, but
Chuck's
Charles-
highlight video for everybody.
But Chuck was like, "I'm gonna put this ball in this basket, and there's nothing you could do about it."
Absolutely.
also-
Draymond can't, so he gotta pass it to these
Well, yeah.
killers.
Chuck carried bad
I think it's just the
teams
people that's
to
on his
the
team,
playoffs.
too, though.
He carried bad teams to the playoffs. He carried Phoenix to the finals. This is a guy who had 40-something and 20-something. I've never watched a game
And if it
and
wasn't
said,
for
damn.
that 2-3, he'd have a ring.
I never watched the game and said, damn, Draymond got busy tonight. And the Warriors won all the time, especially when they had KD. I never saw one of those games where Draymond was the
He never
difference
had to
maker.
be the difference maker.
But you should at least, if you're going to say you're the greatest of all time or something, you should at least flash that. We're talking about Ben Wallace type shit. I've seen Ben Wallace really
Shut down
make
Shaq.
a game horrible to
I won't say
watch
shut him
for
down,
the Cavs.
He shut him down. He just
Ben Wallace used
made
to make
it tough.
Yeah.
He used to make games horrible to watch for the casual basketball fan. If you're somebody that really don't know basketball, you don't understand what you're watching. But for some reason, the Pistons beat somebody 76-67. You know what I mean? And it was a marvelous game.
And he had 10 and 15 and 7.
Exactly.
Speaking of Ben Wallace, like I said, now that B-Max here, I was talking to somebody on Facebook about the 07 Cavs when LeBron took them to the finals.
Against the Spurs.
Yeah. And then they were like, when he scored the 25 or something like that of 29 against Detroit.
Oh, against the Pistons. That was a crazy run.
And it was a crazy run.
I ain't never seen nothing like
But
that.
but I was telling people, I was like,
27 out of 29.
when
Yeah.
you now back then LeBron wasn't a jump shooter.
No, it was all cup work.
And then I told people, I was like, it's easy to get to the cup when you know the Pistons don't have a Ben Wallace down there. When Chris Webber is your starting center, I'm going to put my bib on and say, I'm going down here to eat.
And Chris Webber was not playing defense.
People were saying,
He ain't
oh,
no shot blocker.
No, and people were saying, oh, the shot blocker don't mean anything.
They had Tayshaun Prince, though.
They had Tayshaun Prince, but
He was supposed to be their defensive guy.
right. But when you get by Tayshaun,
It's over.
if Ben Wallace is not there, Ben Wallace used to. Bruce Bowens was San Antonio's defensive guy. You get by Bruce Bowen, Timmy's waiting for you.
Yep.
A shot blocker is presence is important.
It
So if
is.
I'm going to a game and I'm like, oh, they don't have a Ben Wallace down here, I'm not focusing on the defender that's on me.
Yeah.
I'm getting to this basket knowing that none of y'all gonna stop me.
And this is my question. If I'm a guard, me now, Draymond doesn't discourage me from coming into the paint.
No.
I'm sorry. I can get to I'll find a way. I'll find a way. He might kick me in the balls, but I'll find a way. Because that's what he does. He's Zaza Pachulia. He's the black Zaza Pachulia. He's a dirty player.
Zaza
and I'm not,
dirty,
yeah.
boy.
And if Zaza doesn't step under
Kawhi.
Kawhi and basically change Kawhi's career,
They win.
We're not talking about this because the Spurs, they were killing Draymond. They were going inside and doing whatever they wanted to this guy.
To Draymond's defense, though, I say if he don't get suspended against the Cavs, they win that series.
He just had a long line of nutmegging dudes. And
Nah,
But
I think the way that series played out, even if Draymond doesn't get,
If Draymond don't get suspended and Andrew Bogut don't get hurt for the rest of that series,
that's
Golden
a lot
State
of ifs.
wins.
It's a lot of
Andrew
ifs.
Bogut doesn't
Right,
get hurt.
yeah.
He was
Andrew
gonna
But
get hurt.
he was a rim protection.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then
If-
without him
if
and
Bogut-
Draymond, who was the
if
big
Bogut-
man?
well-
Kevin Looney. He looked like he
Yeah,
bite.
Kevon Looney,
He looked
yeah.
like he bite people.
But wasn't that Draymond ain't no rim protector, so nobody's scared to go to the basket.
No.
When you had Bogut there, you had that security blanket, like
So
you're
how
saying.
can you be the greatest
You can't be. He's
power
not.
forward defensive?
Nobody believes him.
Yeah.
Was he ever the best defender
He
on
wasn't the
Golden
best-
State?
No.
No. I would
Clay.
say
Iguodala.
Clay was.
Clay.
I would
Harris-
say
yeah, Clay.
and Iguodala, but
Even the Harrison Barnes played defense.
Clay was
Yeah,
better.
Black Falcon.
Clay was better than Iguodala because Iguodala was older. A younger Iguodala
Yeah.
was the best defender.
Yeah,
on that
Maybe
team.
That first year he got there, he was the best defender.
His finals MVP year.
Yeah, Finals MVP year, that was the best defender. But other than that, it's been Clay.
That's gonna get him to the. That's gonna get him to the Hall.
And
You can
And
to
they
the-
still-
you can
they
get
still
the Hall
need
of
to
Fame
change
by-
the Hall,
You
though.
can get to the
Yeah.
Hall of Fame by
They
scoring
need to
20
change-
points in the game.
oh yeah,
They
yeah,
need to
yeah.
change the Hall.
Yeah, I guarantee you, John Wall goes to the Hall of Fame at some
Shouldn't.
point. We're gonna
Shouldn't.
be old. We're gonna be sitting around saying,
And I'm
"This
not
is some-
watching."
This is
I
nonsense."
tell you that now. If he
Listen,
go to the Hall,
It,
I ain't
it needs to
watching.
just be an NBA Hall of Fame and not
Yo,
a basketball
That's what I'm
Hall of
saying.
Fame.
The basketball Hall of Fame, he'll make it.
Have you seen the Houston Rockets? What they lose 20 something in a row?
They just
won-
won.
they
They
just
won
won
last
last
night.
night.
Oh man, yo,
Yes, sir.
congratulations, yo, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up for the Houston
Yes,
Rockets,
sir.
baby.
They
The
got 'em
Philadelphia Eagles of the NBA. You know what I'm saying? It's about to get ugly, yo. They're trading Oladipo. Where do y'all think he's heading?
Miami.
That would be a great fit.
Miami's trying to get Kyle Lowry
I don't see him.
and LaMarcus Aldridge.
And that wouldn't be a good look.
I think Oladipo would be better.
Oladipo is definitely a
Yeah,
better fit.
because Toronto wants Tyler Hero for Kyle Lowry, and I would not
I would
do
give
that.
it. I would.
Philly is in the Kyle Lowry talks. Before we go, I just
If
wanna
I'm going to
say-
give up, I'm cool with giving up one. I'm not giving up Tyler and Duncan,
They want one of them.
or I'm not giving up Tyler, Duncan, and Kendrick. You get one.
yeah.
If you want, I give you one. I can't give you more than that.
Am I the only person that thinks it's absurd to give up multiple players for Kyle Lowry?
Yes.
You're gonna get one player. Oh, I'm the only one.
No,
that
no,
thinks
no,
it's-
you're not.
No, no,
I
no, no, no.
apologize.
Okay. I was about to say because I'm the only person to say you get one young player
And
that
a
you
pick.
can build with, and you get some picks. I'll give you 2 first. If
I ain't giving you
I'm
2
a con-
first.
If,
If
I'm,
I'm
a
giving you a
contending
player.
team.
I'm not giving you 2 first if I'm a player. If I'm giving you a player.
Well, the first mean nothing to Philly, so that's what I'm saying. You can have both my first.
Nah,
'cause
well,
we're at
yeah.
the top of the league right now.
Kyle Lowry just
But
runs
them
around.
first-
He just runs around and dials on the floor.
we
We
can use
just
that.
takes he
can use
runs
some of
into you.
that.
He run into you.
He runs
and
into
scream
you,
bloody
yeah.
murder. And
Yeah.
call
Yeah.
it- Ah man.
It just
But
dives.
you know what? He is more of a floor general point guard, and if you have shooters and scorers around
he gonna
him,
get 'em to him.
He's going to get them the ball, and he's going to make sure Embiid gets that rock where he needs it to be when Ben Simmons is not on the floor. We need somebody to run that second unit with Dwight Howard, and he can also run that pick and roll with Dwight Howard too. So this is somebody who
gonna free
knows how
him
to
up.
play the game. It'll free up Shake Milton and Cork Maz to get even cleaner looks. They want us to give up Thibault, I heard, and I'm keeping Matisse Thibault because that is a defensive player. That's a guy who can defend a 4 down to a 1.
But if you got Ben and Joel, you can afford to give him up.
Not for your future. Thibault is that good of a defender, and if he develops
You trying
a
to get a
3-point
ring,
shot,
right?
listen,
I love it. 2 Sixer fans talking
no,
basketball.
no.
No.
I'm gonna say Thibault because
It's tatted on me.
Thibault, when that 3-point shot comes around and it's already he's starting to show flashes of that. This is your,
No, he's a solid player,
Yeah,
but like
he
you
could-
said earlier, if
he
you
could
could get,
possibly be your Pippen.
but if you could get pieces for him that could get you to win now, you wouldn't take it.
I don't know if Kyle Lowry.
Kyle
that
Lowry
piece.
could put y'all over the hump
If
because
we
that's a
keep
solid
Thibault.
quarter.
If we
That's
keep
a
Thibault.
solid. That's a no. You don't need Thibault if you get him because Kyle Lowry could play defense
When it comes
and
to
he
on
can
the ball
shoot.
defense, he's a shade worse than Ben Simmons. I don't think people realize how good. He's just not as good as an all-around player yet.
But if you have Kyle Lowry who's shown he can play defense,
We gotta play
On
the
the
Nets,
perimeter.
bro.
right? It ain't too many teams that can beat the Nets.
But we gotta be able to deploy these defenders, and that's what.
But that's what I'm saying. If you got Kyle Lowry, you put him on Kyrie.
Toronto Raptors can have Tyrese Maxey.
To beat
Bye.
To beat the Nets, you got to score 151 points.
Hey, you got to put the numbers up.
And I think we could do that. We're scoring.
Oh, no, y'all
That's
can
not
score.
the problem, but we're going to have to stop somebody. We're going to have to pick our poison. We know
That's a
Ben
bad call.
Simmons is going to KD.
Bad call.
So we're going to need somebody that's at least going to slow James Harden down a little bit, and we're going to hope Kyrie
What, do you
falls
put
in the ISO mode. That's it.
Right.
And because if
You
we can,
you comfortable with Ben Simmons guarding KD?
Absolutely not.
yes, I am.
You sure?
Yes.
Why?
I think Ben is going to end up on Harden, but the problem, see, here's what I say.
And
who's
Thibault.
going? And Matisse is going to play KD.
No, Matisse going to come off the bench.
So who's playing KD?
No, I said Ben is going to guard KD.
No, you
6'10",
said Ben was
6'11".
going to play.
No, I said I think ultimately he'll end up guarding Harden, which I'm not mad at either. But I'd rather him guard KD and make it tough.
He has to guard KD.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no. He has
It's gonna
to
be
guard
tough.
KD.
It's going to be tough. That's going to be the best series
You
in all
gotta-
the NBA playoffs.
You're gonna have to put. If you get with the 5 you got right now,
Yeah.
you have to put him on KD. You got to put.
Embiid,
Nope, not Embiid.
Danny.
Danny Green.
Not hell no. Yeah, no, not
First of
Danny
all, he's
Granger.
solid.
Danny
Danny
Granger.
Green been giving us great basketball
Um,
so far. Blake Griffin is there, but I'm
What
not
the
worried
hell?
about Blake.
What's his name? Number was it 12?
Tobias?
Tobias.
Tobias
You
Harris.
got to put Tobias on.
He's going to get smoked.
No matter who you put on, either one of them, they're gonna get smoked.
Tobias
But
will
Tobias
guard,
got the
Tobias
least.
is going to guard Blake Griffin. That's what's going to happen.
That's no.
And then Embiid is going to have
So
Jordan.
who's guarding Harden
No,
and Kyrie?
But I'm guessing the Nets closing lineup will be Blake at the 5.
Nah, I got DeAndre at the 5.
Blake is going to be at the 5 at the end of the game. if
Yes,
that's-
because
So who would you? So who is the other 4?
KD gonna
Besides
be the 4.
KD? No. I'm saying the other 4. Besides KD,
Blake, KD,
James,
Jeff
and
Green.
Kyrie.
Jeff Green is going to be on the floor.
or
Jeff Green is the piece.
Joe Harris.
Joe Harris.
Yeah.
Kyrie-
Joe
I
Harris.
see Joe Harris
Kyrie,
more
Joe
so.
Harris,
I see
Harden.
Joe. But
You send Thibault or Danny Green at Joe Harris. You send Danny Green at Joe Harris, that's a draw.
Joe Harris is
We-
6'10".
No, he's not, is he? No.
No, I don't think he.
No,
does.
he like
he's like
6'8".
6'5".
Yeah.
No, he
6'5",
like
6'6".
he's talk.
But
About to look it up.
but you
Yeah, look
can't.
up Joe Harris.
But you can't. Here's why you can't put Matisse on Joe Harris, because you want Matisse actually guarding somebody.
He got to guard Kyrie.
His mind is I'm a defender. So
Yeah.
if Kyrie or somebody drive, he's gonna go help,
Remember,
and then he's gonna
Matisse
get
is
his
coming off
eyes.
the bench.
6'6". He's 6'6".
Yeah, he's 6'6". Matisse is coming off the bench. So I want Matisse on one of the players with the second unit. So I want, like,
But this is why you need
I
like
want
a
to
Kyle
sit Ben
Lowry.
Simmons at KD because, first of all, the Nets starters have to play long minutes. Sixers can sit there, guys, as we've shown, and still win ball games against good teams. Nets are going to have to play long minutes. So when, Ben Simmons comes out the game, now we send Thibault at you while Ben Simmons is resting, and hopefully Kyle Lowry's running that point with the second unit. Because we don't want to depend too much on Seth Curry playing defense. One of the moves I want is Lonzo Ball. Because if we can get Lonzo Ball,
And he play defense.
That takes the pressure off first of all, the guys on the offense. Because right now, to get shots and score points, we got Shake Milton and Furkan Korkmaz, like really just creating on their own. And they're making it happen, but we know it's not sustainable. We need a point guard that's going to push Cork to the 3, Shake to the 2, get Shake off the ball, get him spotting up more. And then we can probably drop Mike Scott out of the lineup and just use him in spots. But then you have Thibault and you have Dwight Howard, And
No, y'all
Tony
got
Bradley.
the pieces.
Yeah,
but
the
I
pieces
think
are there.
I think Kyle Lowry would really be.
Stop saying Tony Bradley name like he good.
Hold on. Tony, all right, listen, Dave. I'm done because you disrespected Tony Bradley and we got to step outside. You know what I'm saying? I'm on my 5 minutes, bro.
I'm all for it.
I'm on my 5 minutes.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, we
Nah,
getting
but-
smoked by the Suns.
But B-Mac, man, I appreciate you coming through, man. You got to stop through
anytime,
whenever
man.
you have an open
Anytime.
invite to the Pick and Roll podcast, man.
Definitely will be back. Definitely will be
Dave,
back.
do you want him back?
I don't give a damn what he said.
What about if the Cowboys win the division? Do you want him
Oh, I'm
back?
definitely coming back.
Hell no.
Cowboy geared up.
You got to
too.
come in here in your Nate Newton jersey.
I'll definitely find one.
Yeah.
Believe
You
that.
got to get you a custom Nate Newton
I'll damn sure come pull up with one too.
Who's the best Cowboy
of all time.
of all time?
Just Tony Dorsett. Staubach.
Come on now.
Overrated ass Troy Aikman.
Come on now.
Might have to be the Cocaine Cowboy.
The playmaker himself.
Wrong.
Who would you pick?
Quincy Carter.
I knew you was gonna say some dumb shit like that.
And Chan
Nah,
Gailey
but
is your best coach
it-
in 25 years.
The top cowboy of all time.
Quincy Carter.
He was the worst.
He definitely wasn't the worst.
He was damn sure the worst. Oh, she.
Ben
made-
DiNucci is the worst.
No, he's not. No, I take Ben DiNucci over Quincy.
Drew Henson.
Any
Drew
day.
Henson?
I would take him over Quincy.
Absolutely not.
Quincy was cheeks.
Not doing it.
Quincy was ass.
First of all, Quincy
Any
made
nigga
the
named
playoffs.
Quincy is cheeks. Tell you that now.
All right, y'all. Yo, this is a good episode. We're going to holler at y'all next week. All right, Pick and Roll Podcast.
Appreciate
Find
y'all,
us
man.
on YouTube, Indio Group, and then follow us on Facebook at the Indio Group on Facebook. I'll drop the links in there, and I'll upload the YouTube video of this live cast. All right, peace.
Quincy Carter, baby.